Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from sunny Shuttleworth Park here in Amsterdam, New York. This is Adam Agresta here with my partner Justin Cohen, bringing you Mohawks baseball as the visiting Glens Falls Dragons are set to take on the Mohawks for the 9th time this season. The first 8 games have been split 50-50. Each team has won 4, so they will look to break that tie tonight, as this game not only has implications for first place in the PGCBL East, but also for best record overall in the league, which this year has a much more important side to it than before. So Justin will kind of talk about that for a bit. Looking at the PGCBL playoff format, as we are now on the back end of the so-called All-Star break of the PGCBL. Last night, the West All-Stars beat the East All-Stars 8-5 in the 2018 PGCBL All-Star game at Dunfield in Elmira. The Pioneers were quality hosts of that, but we'll go through the format for the playoffs first. What mainly stands out to you when looking at it, Justin?
So it's not just it's the top 7 teams, sort of. It's the top 2 teams from each of the 3 divisions, followed by the 3rd place team in the division whose team has the best record. I don't know if that makes sense. It's so you have the team with the best winning percentage. The 3rd team in their division wins. Makes the playoffs.
So, for example, right now, that would be the West Division, which has the PGCBL best Jamestown Jammers in it. They're 25-10, while their 3rd place team is the Elmira Pioneers, which they are 14-21 right now, 11 games back of first place. But right now, if the season ended today, they would make the playoffs as that 17th. But the thing is, it gets a little more complicated from there. The first round, dubbed the PGCBL Divisional Round, will see the top 2 teams from the other 2 divisions that doesn't have the best record team. They will face off against each other. So, for example, if the season ended today, Amsterdam would face off against Albany. Mohawk Valley in the Central Division would face off against Utica, and so on. So those 2 teams would duke it out in a 1-game playoff to try and get to the semifinals. And then in the West Division, which would be the division with 3 teams making it, Jamestown would automatically make it into the semifinals, while the 2 teams in the West at 2nd and 3rd, which right now, if the season ended today, would be Geneva and Elmira, they would play a 1-game playoff to make it to the semifinals. And then once those 4 teams are determined, they would then be reseeded by record, and then they would play a 4-game playoff with best-of-3 series for each matchup.
And see, this is what troubles me about this format, is that Saugerties right now, who's in 3rd place, tied with the Albany Dutchmen in games back of the Mohawks.
Just trailing in winning percentage right now.
So they're just trailing in winning percentage. And they don't make the playoffs as it stands right now, even though they have a .556 winning percentage, and they're 20-16, 4 games over 500, while Elmira, who is making the playoffs, is 7 games under 500. And so there's a certain extent of wanting to lose if you're in 3rd place, if you're playing the 1st place team in the division, because you want them to get the best record in the league.
Yeah, as we've seen just a conundrum, it seems like, with this PGCBL format. I'm sure they'll have to review it in the offseason and look to maybe pick a better format next season. But for right now, it seems like that we could have, coming down to it, in the last game of the season, maybe on the last day of the regular season, July 31st, where certain certain teams might have to try to lose, as we right now pause at Shuttleworth Park for our national anthem. Beautiful rendition of the national anthem there by longtime Mohawks fan Clarissa Putnam. As we will await our first pitch here at Shuttleworth Park.
We call your attention to the left side of the infield. We've got some very important people coming in for our ceremony.
As tonight is Heroes Night here at Shuttleworth. Really special night for everyone, not only in the Amsterdam community, but in the surrounding communities as well. We invite everyone in, anyone who could maybe be considered a hero, fire, EMS. You see a lot of
Police.
police, with all police departments and anyone who helps protect the greater good. Of course, we do Veterans Tuesdays every Tuesday here at Shuttleworth, which is very awesome. All veterans get in free. They get free food, and it's kind of the same thing tonight just for the rest of our heroes in the community. As we will have multiple people throwing the first pitch, I will go through the lineups for both teams. First for the visiting Glens Falls Dragons. Leading off, the second baseman out of the University of Albany, number 15, Nick Kondo, who had an RBI single last night in the All-Star game. Batting second, playing right field out of Fairfield University, number 1, Danny Ryan. Batting third, the left fielder, headed to Marist College this fall, number 28, Brian Hart. Batting cleanup, the shortstop out of Southern New Hampshire College, number 25, Phoenix Hernandez. Batting fifth, the first baseman out of Cornell University, number 31, Josh Arndt. Batting sixth, the designated hitter out of LIU Post, number 35, Zach Fritz. Batting seventh, the center fielder out of Siena College, number 6, Matt Hamill. Batting eighth, the third baseman out of St. Joe's College in Vermont, number 21, Brian Quezada. And batting ninth, the catcher, headed to the University of Arkansas in the fall, number 3, Andrew Stanley. On the mound for the visiting Glens Falls Dragons will be number 13, Mitch Guerreri. Excuse me, I want to make sure I got his name correctly. Mitch is pitching out of Goldie Beacom College. He was a freshman there. He's a Greentown, Pennsylvania native. His numbers on the mound this season for the Dragons. This is his sixth start. In 5 starts, he's thrown 26 and 2/3 innings, given up 31 hits and 18 runs. 14 of those runs are earned. He has walked 9 and struck out 24, and he is 1-3 with a 4.72 ERA. As we continue our first pitches here, as the Mohawks look to warm up. As now I will go over the hometown Amsterdam Mohawks lineup. Batting first, the center fielder out of St. John's, number 6, Mike Antico. Batting second, the left fielder out of Mississippi State, number 3, Tanner Allen. Batting third, the right fielder out of Wake Forest University, number 33, Michael Ludwig. Batting cleanup, the catcher out of Wake Forest University, number 39, Shane Muntz. Batting fifth, the first baseman out of the University of South Florida, number 31, Joe Genord. Batting sixth, the third baseman out of Mississippi State, number 25, Justin Foscue. Batting seventh, the designated hitter out of Herkimer College, number 17, Ben Rhodes. Batting eighth, the shortstop out of the University of Indiana, number 2, Cole Barr. And batting ninth, the second baseman out of Florida Atlantic University, number 9, Richie Nitza. On the mound for the Mohawks today, it will be a bullpen staff day, as the starter will be number 36, Tyler Stafflinger out of New Jersey Institute of Technology. Tyler on the season, this is only his 4th appearance. He's only thrown 6 2/3 innings for the Mohawks, as he's had some issues, I believe, in staying healthy, and he's just been cautious with it. Of course, not trying to get yourself hurt anymore in Summer League baseball, but his numbers on the mound, I mentioned he's thrown 6 2/3 innings. He's given up only 4 hits and no runs. He struck out 5 on the mound and walked none in those 6 2/3 innings, as he is 1-0 with an ERA of 0.00. So from what Coach Keith Griffin told us before the game, it sounds like Tyler Stafflinger will throw 2 innings, and then after that he will go to the bullpen, and we can expect to see the likes of maybe Blake Espinal. I believe Ryan McGlinskey is hurt still. His shoulder was giving him some issues. But from there, we would probably also expect to see arms such as the Napick brothers, Brooks Napick, and I think Carter Napick might be available as well. Maybe Nick DeBrino, Teddy Sabato,
Dale Stanovich
perhaps as well, and also newcomer to the Mohawks, Ryan Lanero out of St. Rose. Or excuse me, not St. Rose, he's out of Herkimer. We signed also number 28, Michael Hughes out of St. Rose. That's what I was thinking of, as they are both considered to be bullpen arms as well, as the Mohawks have had to make some moves to keep everyone healthy, it seems like.
And, of course, former intern Zach Kerr.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have Zach Kerr out of Springfield College as well. So we could see a lot of different options here, as everyone had an off day yesterday besides the Mohawks All-Stars, who actually are getting an off day today. None of the 4 All-Stars are expected to play today unless maybe Richie Barella or Elvis Peralta Jr. get in late as defensive replacements, as the first pitch into Nick Kondo is fouled off, and we are underway here at Shuttleworth Park. As the Mohawks, in their last game on Tuesday night, they were actually the only game on the PGCBL slate that evening. They beat the Oneonta Outlaws 7-2. A couple of stars in that game. First off, Shane Muntz on the mound, as that one is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-2 now to Kondo. Shane Muntz on the mound out of Wake Forest, who is starting behind the plate tonight. He went 6 innings on Tuesday, giving up 2 runs, as that one is rocketed back up the middle, and Nick Kondo has himself a base hit to lead off the ball game. But Muntz also went 2 for 4 at the plate, and the Mohawks used home runs from Cole Barr and Joe Genord and Mike Antico to collect the 7-2 win over last place Oneonta, as Dan Ryan out of Fairfield University steps up to the plate. I mentioned Kondo, who just got that hit. He had an RBI single in the PGCBL All-Star game last night in Elmira, but the East All-Stars could not get the win against the West All-Stars, as the West took a quick 8-0 lead after 5, I believe. First pitch into Ryan is low for a ball, 1-0. Danny Ryan at the plate is hitting .314. He, out of all qualified people, is leading the Dragons in hitting. He's 38 for 121 at the plate. As Kondo is going, he got a nice jump on that one, as the slow motion from Tyler Stafflinger allows him to swipe second base.
And that's exactly what you expect from Kondo when he gets on base. Kid's fast, lots of steals.
Yeah, he currently has 21, which leads the PGCBL still, I believe.
Yep.
As his overall numbers, too, are 21 for 24 as he dances off of second base now, trying to distract Stafflinger, as that pitch misses barely. And it's now 2-1 here to Ryan. Danny Ryan at the plate also leads all Glens Falls Dragons in RBIs as well. He has 20. He's the only guy with 20 or more, as that one is fouled off to the backstop. It'll be 2-2.
It'll be interesting tonight, the battle between the strong arm of Shane Muntz, who's behind the plate, with the speed of not only the Nick Kondo, but the Glens Falls Dragons as a whole, who are a pretty fast team. And right now you have a slow delivery, but Shane Muntz has a cannon behind the plate, as we talked about. He has pitched frequently.
As time is called by Danny Ryan, Stafflinger was going into his motion. But we haven't seen much of Tyler Stafflinger this season. Mentioned he's only thrown 6 2/3 innings, but it'll be interesting to see how he does in the scheduled start, even though, as they say, that Danny Ryan went around, and that is strike 3 for the first out. That's Stafflinger's 6th strikeout of the season. As that will bring up Brian Hart, who was a high school senior this past season, but will be attending Marist College in the fall. First pitch into Hart, the lefty, is on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. As Stafflinger sets in, he works kind of slowly, it seems like, at least, of course, with the runner on base. You have a guy with the speed like Kondo. That one bounces in. It will be 1-1 now.
And, I mean, it is just a beautiful day here at Shuttleworth Park again, isn't it? I mean, perfect temperature, sun's out. It's almost concerning as the sun comes in over the first base line heading into left field. The third baseman and left fielder may have some trouble with the sun right off the bat.
I would definitely say that as well, as that one was caught and missed by Hart, and it's 1-2 now to the outfielder. Hart is 16 for 59 for the Dragons this season. That's a .271 batting average. He has 3 home runs as well. As that one is lofted into center field, on comes Mike Antico, who will make the catch and will try to double up Nick Kondo, but they will not be able to as he slides back in safely. Kondo was going on contact, but he is able to get back as Hart lines out for the second out.
And what a play by Mike Antico, because Kondo was scoring if that ball hit the ground.
Yeah, but Antico, luckily that ball held up in the air long enough for Antico to get to it. As that will bring up Phoenix Hernandez, the veteran for Glens Falls out of Southern New Hampshire College. He's playing shortstop today. We've seen him at both short and third base for the Dragons. As Glens Falls started off very hot this season, but they are now 14-21, which is 7 games back of Amsterdam in the division, as they are 5.5 back of a playoff spot right now, and that playoff spot is currently tied with 2 teams, so it's looking kind of bleak for Glens Falls heading into the finale of the PGCBL slate. But, of course, anything can happen. I believe they have 13 games to go, as that one is popped high in the air by Hernandez. It looks like Richie Neitz at second will call that one, and he will settle under it to make the catch and retire the side. So after a leadoff single, Tyler Stafflinger settles down and gets the next 3 batters, as we will head to the bottom of the first with the score. The Glens Falls Dragons 0, and the Amsterdam Mohawks coming to bat. You are listening to the Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Mike Antico will lead off the bottom of the first inning here for the Mohawks, as he has pretty much every home game for a month as he stayed healthy here for Amsterdam. As that one is lined right back up the middle for a base hit. So Mike Antico only needs one pitch to match the Dragons in first inning hits.
Mark your cards. It's an I-24. An I-24.
As I believe we were playing bingo here
Yeah,
as well as just watching baseball.
There's baseball bingo here tonight for Thursday nights, and we also have buy one, get one Coors Light drafts. So if you still have a chance, try and make it down here to Shuttleworth Park for a good night of baseball and fun. As Tanner Allen is in against Mitch Guerreri, the starter for Glens Falls, as that curveball misses high and away. It's 1-0.
And we've seen Guerreri before here at Shuttleworth Park. We haven't seen him in a bit. It was June 5th, so we didn't have the full team here.
As check of Antico at first has him sliding back in.
He made it through 4.2 innings, giving up 5 runs, but only 2 of them earned. 7 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So he had an overall decent night. I'm guessing there were some errors there that inflated his runs.
1-0 to Tanner Allen is fouled off down the left field line out of play. It'll be 1-1. Yeah, as Glens Falls has as a team, if I can find their fielding percentage, they're 6th in the league. So not terrible, but with a 9.959, that means that you make a little more errors than you probably have wanted to as a team, as that one will be grounded down to first base, but it will be foul before it reaches the first baseman, Arndt. The Mohawks came into tonight a game and a half up on Albany and Saugerties, as Albany currently has 5 games in hand, though, compared to the Mohawks, as they've played 32 games. The Mohawks have played 37, so that can mean both good and bad depending on what the status of Albany's roster is, as check of the runner, Antico, but once again slides back in safely.
And they're about to stretch at Sienna Field in Albany, Loudonville, and Albany's up 5-2, so...
As that one misses low, check of Antico at first on the throw down from Stanley, but he's back in safely. It'll be 2-2 here to Allen.
Because they start early because they don't have lights at their field.
Right, yeah, so 5:05 start time. Yep. So you said it was 5-2 in what inning?
Dutchman at the stretch.
At the seventh inning stretch. So Albany, that is against Saugerties as well. So whichever team, of course, wins that gets a half game. As that one is lined down the left field line for a fair ball by Tanner Allen. Cutting it off is left fielder Hart. Into third is Antico, as Allen cruises into second with a stand-up double. And the Mohawks are in business here. Runners on second and third with nobody out.
Bingo players, that's an N36, under the N36.
As Michael Ludwig steps up to the plate. If you get a chance, right now we have an interview with Mike Ludwig and Shane Muntz posted to our Facebook page, Amsterdam Mohawks. If you get a chance to go over there, check that out. Both Wake Forest players have been excelling for the Mohawks this season. As Mike steps to the plate, he's hitting .345. Sorry, Justin, go ahead.
Without giving anything away, Ludwig tells a really nice story during that interview that I think is worth hearing, definitely.
Absolutely. As that first pitch breaking ball is inside, it will be 1-0.
How's that for a tease,
Yeah, I would definitely say check it out. It's a good interview. You can see Mike Ludwig definitely enjoys, well, not exactly enjoys the spotlight, but he's really nice with talking to people. He's awesome to talk to, where Shane Muntz is more of the quiet reserve type, but it's crazy to see. Both of them are, of course, not related, but they look alike. They play at the same college, and they both have Ludwig is hitting .345, where Shane Muntz on deck is hitting .343. So the only thing that you can really say is different about them is their positions that they play, as Muntz also pitches, and, of course, he is behind the plate tonight at catcher. As that one will be lined back up the middle. Hernandez cannot get it as he dives as Antico comes in to score, and right behind him is Tanner Allen, as Michael Ludwig has a 2 RBI single here to give the Mohawks a quick lead. as that'll bring up Shane Muntz. And mentioned he is hitting .343. That is in 70 at-bats, 24 hits. He also has 17 RBIs to go with that, 5 home runs and 9 walks, as well as 10 runs scored for the slugger. But both of those guys are, of course, really good gentlemen. Muntz ducks out of the way of a curveball there. It'll be 1-0. And, of course, Shane is a Pennsylvania native where Ludwig is a Virginia native. So they're from different parts of the country. They meet up in Wake Forest, North Carolina, and now are teammates once again here in Amsterdam. As Ludwig on first, Muntz at the dish here. The 1-0 is popped in high in the air. It'll be in shallow right field. On comes the right fielder, Ryan, to make the catch for the first out.
And we were sort of chuckling with Shane Muntz during our interview about how he pitched and hit well on Tuesday, and yet they were the only game, yet he didn't win pitcher or hitter of the night.
Yeah, he was, of course. And now the player of the night from Tuesday, July 17th, steps up to the plate. It is Joe Genord out of South Florida. He had a home run in that game for the Mohawks. I believe he had 2 hits as well. First pitch into Genord is cut on and missed. Nice off-speed pitch there from Guerreri. The 0-1 is Guerreri, of course, having given up already the 2 first-inning runs, is just trying to settle down and get out of the inning with just the 2 runs of damage. As that one will be lined down the left field line, and that'll be a fair ball as it goes all the way to the wall, as Ludwig is being waved by Coach Griffin, and he will score as an RBI double by Joe Genord gives the Mohawks a 3-0 lead. That is RBI number 32 on the season for Joe Genord as he continues to increase his all-time lead in RBIs for Amsterdam as he broke that record earlier this season as Justin Foscue steps up to the plate. Foscue right now, of course, he only has 26 at-bats for the Mohawks, but he has the best average out of anyone playing it with a .385 clip.
And
10 for 26.
I doubt he'll qualify by the end of the year for the official PGCBL stats.
The first pitch to him is fouled off, but yeah, I would agree with that, Justin. I don't think you have to qualify with at least 2.7 at-bats per games played, so by the end of the season he would have to have 2.7 times probably 48 unless barring any rainouts or weird cancellations. As that one will be lined right to the shortstop. Hernandez goes to third as they have Joe Genord in a rundown. Nice play from Hernandez there. Savvy play as Joe is a big dude, but he's doing good in the rundown. He isn't caught yet as he will try to slide into third, but they will get him.
Notably there, though, Foscue got to second base.
Yeah, Foscue does get to second base. He's just taking off his batting gloves. But yeah, so they still have a runner in scoring position, even though Hernandez makes the savvy play for the second out. As that will bring up Ben Rhodes out of Herkimer College. Ben, of course, is an Amsterdam, New York native. So far for the Mohawks this season, he's hitting .232, 16 for 69 with 7 runs scored, 4 doubles, and 9 RBIs. And 2 of those RBIs came in one game against Oneonta, where he ended up having game-tying, game-winning walk-off hits. First pitch to him is high, 1-0.
And Ben Rhodes, similar to Shane Muntz, has been a man of many talents this year, pitching and hitting, and pitching honestly remarkably well, considering, as we've talked about it a little bit, that it's been a while since he's pitched consistently, and yet seems to be right back into it.
Yeah, he's been doing just phenomenal, as that's 1-0 pitch missed. It's now 2-0. Guerreri struggling here in this first inning. That one misses. Oh, and it looked like it'll be called a strike. It looked like it almost hit Rhodes, but he does crowd the plate.
The top inside corner, it was right there.
Top inside corner, right on it. We saw it right on our stat track.
Yep.
As leaning away from second is Foscue. The 2-1 will be punched inside out, foul out of play down the left field line. Evens at 2-2. Rhodes is the 7th man to bat in the bottom of the first here for the Mohawks, as a 2 RBI single by Michael Ludwig and an RBI double by Joe Genord has given Amsterdam a 3-0 lead to start this one off. The 2-2 from Guerreri is cut on and missed by Rhodes, and now retired the side. But not before the Mohawks score 3 runs on 4 hits, as there were no errors in the inning. They leave 1 on base. Your score after 1, the Amsterdam Mohawks 3, the Glens Falls Dragons nothing. You are listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Josh Arndt out of Cornell University will lead off the top of the second here for Glens Falls, as Tyler Stafflinger is back out there to pitch. We're not sure how many innings he will go, besides the scheduled 2, as that one misses outside. It'll be 1-0. But, of course, that can change. Everything is always subject to change here with Coach Keith Griffin. The 1-0 here from Stafflinger misses low and away once again, as he's pitching Arndt away, who comes into tonight hitting .206 only for Glens Falls, 22 for 107. 2-0 is fouled right off of the catcher Shane Muntz's mask, as he looks to be a little shaken up, of course, but it looks like he'll be okay. The home plate umpire showing a nice gesture, giving Muntz some time here, walking the ball back out to Stafflinger.
If you've got the number 14 on your program, signed by Jake Hammond, you've won a Mohawks koozie.
As it looks like we will reset here with the 2-1 count. Arndt at the plate also has 6 doubles to go with 14 runs scored and 21 walks. As that one misses, it's 3-1 now. As we currently have some announcements of signatures, if people have them in their programs, they get to win prizes. That one goes off the behind of Shane Muntz after it misses. It's fouled off by Arndt, and it will be 3-2 now. As Stafflinger sets, deals the 3-2. That will be popped foul behind the grandstand, and we will reset and do it again.
I saw just like last time Shane Mont's caught, he's taking a beating already, isn't he?
Yeah, so of course it's just the way of the position. You have to be tough to be able to be behind there. As that curveball is grounded down to first base, Joe Genord will take it himself for the first out. Nice play there from Joe. As that'll bring up Zach Fritz.
The designated hitter from Long Island University Post, number 35, Zach Fritz.
Fritz is out of LIU Post, where Anthony Vaglica is from. I don't think Vaglica is here tonight. He might be injured. As Fritz on the season is hitting 188, 18 for 96, as that one misses high and away. It's 1-0. As that has kind of been the run-of-the-mill here for Glens Falls this season, as they are last in both runs per game and batting average as a team, as that one misses low, and it's 2-0 now. They only score 4.46 runs a game, and they hit 232. And both are 13th in the league, as that one is in there for a called strike. It'll be 2-1 here to Fritz.
And Fritz strikes out a lot. He has 33, which was tied for the lead on the Glens Falls team. So see if that.
As that one is kind of missed, evens at 2-2. Yeah, as Glens Falls, I believe strikeouts wise, they have 308, which I'm almost certain leads the league. As the 2-2 here is fouled off, goes off of the screen behind home plate. On deck is Matt Hamill out of Siena. The 2-2. That one misses high, and it'll be the second straight full count by Stafflinger here.
And it seems like the winds have shifted a little bit. Now we have smoke coming onto the field from the concession stand along with the sun.
Yeah,
that's
so
bleeding through.
It's interesting. And the 3-2 is cut on and missed by Fritz, as that will be the second strikeout of the game for Stafflinger and the 34th of the year for Fritz.
The center fielder from Siena College,
as Matt Hamill strides to the plate. Matt is a returner from the 2017 Glens Falls squad. This season for Glens Falls, he's hitting 248, 30 for 121, with 8 runs scored, 11 RBIs. As the first pitch to him misses high, it's 1-0. Hamill, like a lot of his other counterparts on the team, he's struck out 29 times, so it's kind of just the theme at the plate, as that one misses inside. It's 2-0. And, of course, it shows as a good thing for the Mohawks, where even on staff day, they may be able to get some good innings out of all of their pitchers with a team like this. As that one is ripped down the right field line, as Hamill bounces that one off of the Jankowski insurance sign, as that one is Michael Ludwig coming up, and he guns out Maya Hamill at second base to end the inning. As it'll go down as a hit for Matt Hamill, but he was quickly erased by the arm of Michael Ludwig. As Mike continues to impress here in Amsterdam. As we will head to the bottom of the second inning with the score still 3-0 Mohawks. You are listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Awesome caravan there from all of the local heroes being represented here tonight at Shuttleworth Park, including Gavac Ambulance Company, Hageman Fire Department, New York State Police, amongst others around here. And for everyone here from the Mohawks, we say thank you for representing your community. Yeah, as Cole will step up to the plate here to lead off the bottom of the second. Cole on Tuesday had a 2-run home run here at Shuttleworth. As the first pitch in from Guerreri is low and away, it'll be 1-0.
And Cole Barr in his last game had his first home run of the season, so we'll look to build off of that as we head into this game.
As that one is in there for a called strike. It'll be 1-1 to Barr, who out of the University of Indiana this year for Amsterdam is hitting .264, 23 for 87, with 20 runs scored. As that one will be grounded foul down the left field line. It will be 1-2.
And it's on the scoreboard. We should check out the speed of each pitch of tonight's game on the Queon I-Center mile-per-hour board. Upper left-hand corner.
Guerreri, of course, trying to bounce back from that 3-run first inning by the Mohawks that came on an RBI double from Jojo Norton and a 2 RBI single from Mike Ludwig. Curveball there, misses outside, it'll be 2-2 as Ludwig had a quality first inning and a half here so far at Shuttleworth with the 2 RBI single, and he threw out Matt Hamill at second base to end the top half of the inning. As that one is ripped over Phoenix Hernandez's head into left field for a base hit. As Cole Barr leads off the second straight inning for the Mohawks with a single. As they'll bring up the 9-hitter Richie Nitza out of Florida Atlantic. Nitza has seen his playing time diminish slightly with the addition of Justin Foscue and Tanner Allen. As that one is bunted down the first base line, but will get out of play. It'll be 0-1. Or it will roll foul, excuse me. As Nitza this season is still hitting .288, 21 for 73 for Amsterdam with 15 runs scored and 11 RBIs. That, of course, is also he has 6 extra base hits, 4 doubles, and 2 home runs.
Coach Griffin just sent some more signs down to Richie.
So we'll see if something happens here, as that one is kind of missed by Nitza. It'll be 0-2. I was wondering maybe if Cole Barr was stealing there. Barr on the season, I don't know if he has a stolen base. We'll see. He has 3, actually, but he's been caught 3 times, so his percentage is only 50% success as they check Barr first. But he gets back in there safely. As Guerreri looks in. Of course, sun's still out here at Shuttleworth. That one is fouled off by Nitza. As Stanley behind the plate came up looking to throw, but Barr was only a few feet off of the first base bag. I'm not sure if he was just trying to deke him or what.
Congratulations to our recovery room seat upgrade winners, Richard and Sandy Garneau from Schenectady. They're currently in the seats.
As we announce our seat upgrades here at Shuttleworth Park, we always have 2 nice lawn chairs down in front on the grandstand that allow 2 people to get their seats upgraded. As that curveball will be fouled off by Nitza and will end up in the sky deck. Luckily, it doesn't hit anyone. But the sky deck right behind the first base dugout. As we always have different representatives on our decks for parties. They host groups. If you also want to ever book a deck party here at Shuttleworth Park for any games, it's a really cool outing for people for work, for schools, amongst other things. As Barr leads away, the 0-2 is cut on and missed by Nitza as he is down with the first out.
And I was looking during that at-bat, the PGCBL does not include in their statistics section a caught stealing percentage for their catchers,
yeah.
for like the defensive positions. Be interesting to see. I feel like we've seen Stanley before throw some guys out here at Shuttleworth Park, but Cole Barr definitely has some speed. But as you said, he was a 500 steal percentage, so that's
So and honestly, I think that's just because he hasn't been sent as much. He gets on base pretty often, as that one misses, is on the inside corner for a called strike. 0-1 here to Antico. This ball gets away from Guerrieri, but Barr stays put at first. As Antico in his first at-bat lined the first pitch back into center field for a base hit. So he's 1 for 1. Barr taking a solid lead from first base. That one is ripped into right field for a base hit by Mike Antico, as Cole Barr will stop at second. And the Mohawks have runners on first and second with only 1 out.
For your bingo players, that's a repeat I-24. I-24.
And if I'm not mistaken, Antico did have a pretty good night. I believe he went 2 for 4 on Tuesday when he played last. Already has the same amount of hits.
Now
2 singles in 2 innings.
Antico came into today. I know he hasn't been as happy with his average. He says it all the time, of course, but with a 276 clip, I'm sure he wants to move that up, as that one is lifted high and deep into left center field by Tanner Allen. That one will clear the fence for a home run, as the 3-run bomb by Mississippi State Bulldog Tanner Allen gives the Mohawks a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Tanner came into that bat with just 1 home run and 4 RBIs. Now he's upped it to 2 and 7 respectively, as he now has his 10th hit as a Mohawk in 33 at-bats. As that'll bring up now
Michael Ludwig. Right?
Yeah, it'll bring up Michael Ludwig out of Wake Forest.
Shane Muntz was announced, so I was correct. He was double-checking.
Yeah, of course. As the lefty, Ludwig steps up to the plate. He flies that one out of play down the left field line. 0-1. Ludwig in his first at-bat hit an RBI single that scored 2. Both Mike Antico and Tanner Allen, as that one misses high. It'll be 1-1. As the Mohawks have quickly jumped on Mitch Guerrieri, as that one misses away. It's 2-1 now. But Ludwig, we mentioned, hitting .345 coming into today. With now, I believe he'll be second on the Mohawks in RBIs, as that curveball is cut on and missed. And it was actually 2-2, my mistake, as Ludwig is down for the second out.
All the bingo players, that's an I-19, under the I-19.
As that'll bring up Shane Muntz, Ludwig's Wake Forest teammate. Muntz so far tonight is 0 for 1. He flew out in the first. As that one will be lifted into right center field. Ranging over is the right fielder, Hart, who can't get it. As Muntz will pull into second with a ground rule double.
I believe that hit off of the scoreboard and took a weird bounce.
Yeah, I think the scoreboard is considered out, so if it hits off of the scoreboard, then it is automatically a ground rule double, as Joe Genord will now step up to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a double, as now the Mohawks have hits from 6 of their 9 starting position players. Genord, also that double in the first was an RBI double, so he has 32 RBIs on the season now, as that one catches the outside corner for a strike. It'll be 0-1.
And this umpire's had a pretty big strike zone all night.
Yeah, a lot of late calls, too.
It has been relatively even so far. I haven't noticed any huge discrepancy between pitchers that the ump's calling strikes and balls for.
As Genord lifts that one into center field. Ranging back is the center fielder Hamill, who will make the catch and retire the side. But not before the Mohawks add another 3 runs in the second on a 3-run home run from Tanner Allen. Overall, they score 3 runs in the inning on 4 hits. There were no errors as they strand 1. We will head to the to the 3rd inning here at Shuttleworth Park with the score of the Amsterdam Mohawks 6, the Glens Falls Dragons nothing. You are listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Ryan Lanero out of Herkimer College is on to pitch here for the Mohawks. As we mentioned, it was supposed to be a staff day as that one is in there for a call strike, and Shane Muntz is already out with Lanero as he must have gotten the wrong sign or something like that. So they'll get on the right page there. As the batter is Brian Quezada, the 3rd baseman for Glens Falls. He's out of St. Joe's College in Vermont. And the 0-1 is in the dirt, so it'll be 1-1 now. But Lanero, yeah, go on.
I was saying that the Mohawks have had some luck this season out of Herkimer College, or Herkimer County Community College, pulling Ben Rhodes as well as Zach Durant, who is our all-star pitcher. So.
Right, yeah. As that one is in there for a called strike. It's 1-2 now to Quezada. But yeah, Herkimer may be a community college, but their baseball team, it doesn't have community college talent. They're usually always one of the best. They usually almost always win the region and have a chance to win the national JUCO title, as that one misses outside. It's now 2-2. Quezada for Glens Falls. Looking at the stats here, I don't think he's not listed on any stats, so this may be his first official game with them, as that one is line foul over the evergreen trees lining the left field side of Shuttleworth. As Lanero has only thrown 2 innings so far for Amsterdam. It's only given up 1 hit in those 2 innings. As that one misses outside, it'll be 3-2 now to Quezada.
Jude Peterson, please come to the first base dugout.
He's walked 2 and struck out 2, and that was all in just 1 appearance.
Quezada at St. Joseph's had a pretty good season, batted .294.
As a 3-2 by him is lifted into right center field. Ranging over is the right fielder Ludwig, but he won't get to it. It'll bounce and go to the wall. Mike Antica will pick that one up as Quezada walks into second base here with a leadoff double.
And there's now been a hit recorded against Mohawks pitching each inning, but none of them have come across the plate yet as we hold with 0 runs.
Yeah, as Tyler Stafflinger, as Andrew Stanley steps up to the plate, but Tyler Stafflinger out of New Jersey Institute of Technology went the first 2 innings for the Mohawks, giving up no runs on 2 hits. He had an assist from Michael Ludwig for his last out that he got to end the top of the second, where Ludwig threw out Matt Hamill at second base after Hamill lined a ball down the right field line that hit off the wall. As that one is swung and a miss by Stanley, it'll be 0-1. We've talked a little bit about Andrew Stanley in past broadcasts, of course, as he has split some time with Anthony Viglica behind the plate for Glens Falls, but now I think Viglica is hurt, so he'll probably look to get most of the starts behind the plate, as that one goes through Shane Muntz's legs and will roll to the backstop, allowing Quezada to move up on the pass ball. He'll be 1-1. Stanley on the year. He's hitting .221, 17 for 77, with 8 runs scored, 5 doubles, 4 RBIs, and 9 walks at the plate. The 1-1 from Lanero misses outside. It will be 2-1 as the Dragons now have a run around third with nobody out as they look to break into the scoring column here, down 6-0 in the top of the third at Shuttleworth Park. 2-1 from Lanero is grounded foul down the left field line. I've mentioned before that Andrew Stanley is headed to the University of Arkansas in the fall, as they made the College World Series and would eventually lose to Oregon State in the finals. But another fun fact about Andrew Stanley is that he attended IMG Academy in Florida this past year for his senior year of high school, as that curveball misses inside, and the count runs full here to Stanley. But we've seen more and more, not only baseball players, but overall athletes head to IMG Academy, as it has kind of developed itself as an apparent school for future professional athletes, so to speak, or at least people who want to give their kids the so-called best opportunity. Yeah. There are multiple lines of thinking with that kind of debate. We won't really get into that, but it's still interesting to see a player like that make his way into the PGCBL, as that one looked like it hit Stanley on the hand. And he looks like he's all good. But the ball, it was a weird curve. I thought maybe it hit the end of the bat. But now we will see a visit from Coach Keith Griffin to the pitcher's mound, as Lanero has given up a hit by pitch and a double here to start his first appearance at Shuttleworth Park.
And that's Stanley's second hit by pitch, so he's unusual to it this year so far. Doesn't take a lot of hit by pitches, doesn't walk all that much.
Yeah, and of course his average, so his on-base percentage overall hasn't been too good. But that can be said about most of the hitters in Glens Falls' lineup. As it will bring up the top of the order and Nick Kondo, who had a base hit his first time up, as Coach Keith Griffin departs from the mound.
And it'll be interesting to see how defensively they play it. It looks like they're at double play depth up the middle and in on the corner, something you'd expect with no outs and yet 2 men on, first and third.
Yeah, as the guys in on the corners are, of course, probably because of the guys on base. At first, you still have to worry about Stanley stealing to get into scoring position and taking away that double play. First pitch into Kondo misses inside. It'll be 1-0. Mentioned Nick is 1 for 1 today, as he picked up his 22nd stolen base of the season in the first inning.
And Stanley is 1 for 1 on steals so far.
As that one is grounded to Cole Barr at shortstop, and he mishandles it, as that will score a run. So the E5 allows Quezada to score. Or E6, excuse me, as I am used to saying Cole Barr is a third baseman, but he is at shortstop today instead of Elvis Peralta Jr. As the Dragons break through and now are only down 6-1. As that'll bring up Dan Ryan out of Fairfield University, playing right field today. He struck out his first time up 0 for 1. And he is squaring around a bunt here against Linero. Bunt right back to Linero at the pitcher's mound. He goes to first with it, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So the sacrifice bunt moves both of the runners over for Brian Hart out of, let me see, as Brian Hart is originally from Saratoga Springs, New York, so he is a local product. He will be attending Marist College in the fall, just graduated from Saratoga High School. First pitch into him is on the inside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Linero on the mound is listed at 5'7", which puts him, just to make sure, okay, so him and Nick DeBrino are both listed 5'7", so we now have 2 small pitchers on the Mohawks, small righty, so to speak, as that one is lined and snagged by Joe Genord, as that always, he tries to pick off the runner at second base, as Tanner Allen was backing up, but the ball airmailed or got by Cole Barr after Joe Genord makes a nice snag for the second out, but that will be an E3 on Genord that allows the runner in Andrew Stanley to come in to score. So it is now 6-2 Mohawks after the nice snag but error by Joe. As Phoenix Hernandez will step to the plate. Hernandez is 0 for 1 so far today. He popped out to second base. We have Nick Kondo on second. Dancing off. As first pitch into Hernandez is inside for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, Nick Kondo does not just take a big lead or anything like that. He is moving back and forth, trying to distract the pitcher and the catcher behind on second base right now, and he did that in his last at-bat as well.
As that one will be fouled back to the screen behind home plate, and it'll be 1-1.
It'll be interesting to see if with Kondo on, the pitchers will speed up their delivery a little bit as a result of him and either rush things or be more successful at keeping him on.
Yeah, we see sidesteps sometimes, but not a whole lot here in this league, so this would be the time where we would see it, as that curveball is in there for a called strike. Good pitch there from Linero. He's ahead 1-2 here on Hernandez, as he's given up 2 runs this inning, but they have both been unearned. So Linero yet to still give up an earned run as a Mohawk. Is 1 strike away from getting out of the bottom of the, or top of the third here. The 1-2. As Hernandez stepped out, Linero is a little frustrated at that. He threw a nice pitch there. It looked like it would have been a called strike 3, but Hernandez at the last second calls time.
I never saw the umpire actually give him time there, but he must have.
Yeah, he must have said time. I mean, that's just that's a rule that has been debated amongst all levels of baseball. In the MLB, they've said that they're going to start issuing strikes to players if they don't step in a timely manner, but I haven't seen it happen yet.
I've actually seen players hit with $2,000 fines if they step out of the box or delay a game.
Yeah, and that's going to do nothing for them. That is actual pennies. As Kondo is running on the pitch, that one is lined right to the right fielder, Ludwig, who makes the catch, and that will retire the side. As 2 errors in the inning allow 2 runs to score for Glens Falls, as we will have a line for you here. 2 runs were scored on only 1 hit. There are 2 errors in the inning, 1 runner left on base. As we will head to the bottom of the 3rd here at Shuttleworth Park. The score, the Amsterdam Mohawks 6, the Glens Falls Dragons 2. You're listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Justin Foscue is in the box to lead off the bottom of the 3rd here against Mitch Guerreri, as that one is cut on and missed. We 0-1. Foscue so far this game has, I believe, reached on a fielder's choice. So he's 0 for 1. As that ball misses low and away, it's 1-1 now to the Mississippi State 3rd baseman. 1-1 cut on and missed. As Guerreri is ahead 1-2. Foscue's Mississippi State and Mohawks teammate Tanner Allen is having a day so far today. He had a 3-run home run last inning. He's 2 for 2. As both players have experienced some great success at the plate in their early games with the Mohawks. As that one misses high, it'll be 2-2 now. There was a point where we weren't sure if we were ever going to end up getting them here, as Mississippi State had a quality run in the College World Series. As that 2-2 nice off-speed pitch just misses by Guerreri, it'll be 3-2 now. But luckily we were able to get them finally for what looks like it'll be the final 15 to 20 games in the regular season, and then of course the playoffs, as that one is cut and missed by Foscue, and he is down for the first out. Now bring up Ben Rhodes out of Herkimer Community College. Ben's 0 for 1 so far today. with a strikeout.
He and Nitsa have been, oh no, Ludwig too. So they've recorded 3 strikeouts so far. Guerreri's recorded 3 strikeouts so far on the Mohawks. Pitch count getting up there. I'll have a count for you in a second.
As that first pitch missed outside, it's 1-0, but the 1-0 is in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Evens at 1-1. The 1-1. Cut on and missed by Rhodes. As Guerreri is ahead on a batter for probably for the second straight at bat, which I think is the first time that's happened today. The 1-2. Curveball on the outside corner for a called strike 3. Ben Rhodes doesn't like the call, but sulks back to the dugout without much more argument as Cole Barr steps to the plate. Cole is 1 for 1 so far today. He singled in his first at-bat and came in to score on the 3-run home run by Tanner Allen.
And as Guerreri finishes up his second time through the order.
First pitch misses high to Barr, 1-0.
Guerreri's already thrown 50 pitches through, well, he's almost through 3 innings, so I guess he's on pace for around 6 innings, which is probably exactly what the Dragons wanted.
Yeah, as this is his 6th start for Glens Falls. That one misses low. He came in with a 4.72 ERA. If Barr can keep the inning going, Richie Nitsa, the 9-hitter, stands on deck. The 2-0 from Guerreri misses inside, and they say it hit Barr. It looked like he must have just skimmed his pants, as you have to say that all clothing counts. But the hit by pitch for Barr will allow Richie Nitsa to come to the plate. Nitsa today is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging last inning after a good at-bat against Guerreri, as first pitch into him is fouled off out of play, 0-1.
And the Mohawks have put on some nice rallies with 2 outs during the season, we've noticed. Most notably, we've had a 6-run, 2-out inning, or 2-out rally, and we'll see if we can get something going here with a little bit of luck off the hit by pitch.
As the Mohawks have scored in the first 2 innings, as that one misses in the dirt, it'll be 1-1. As Amsterdam has not always been able to jump out quickly to leads, but in this game.
Yeah, we've been sort of the comeback kids as far as
scoring goes.
As
that one is fouled off. It'll be 1-2.
Which, trust me, makes for a more exciting game, and yet I wouldn't mind some even adrenaline for a night as I get ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, as it's been, we've had some long games here at Shuttleworth Park, but they've certainly been exciting. As the 1-2 into Nitsa misses high, evens at 2-2. Richie out of Florida Atlantic is only going to be a sophomore in the fall for the Owls, but already is showing signs of a mature player as he cuts on and misses at that curveball. Nice pitch there from Guerreri, and that'll end the inning. As Guerreri hits Cole Barr with a pitch, but works around that to throw his first scoreless frame. As we will head to the 4th here at Shuttleworth Park. The Amsterdam Mohawks up over the Glens Falls Dragons 6-2. You're listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live.
And we had a bit of an elongated break there as the Amsterdam police came in with their canine unit and put on a little show, saving the Mohawks and their employees' tip jars, as hitter Josh Arndt, playing first tonight, takes that ball in the dirt for a ball.
Arndt out of Cornell University is 0 for 1 so far tonight. He grounded out to third, or excuse me, to first. That pitch misses high. It's 2-0. Mentioned Ryan Lanero out of Herkimer College back out there to pitch the fourth as we have someone fall here in the grandstand, but it looks like they're okay, luckily, as Joe Genord once again takes a ground out from Josh Arndt, himself to first base for the first out.
As Arndt has led off 2 innings now, the second and the fourth, with the ground out to third. I'm sure the Mohawks would like to see a repetition of what they did in the second. It was eventually a 1-2-3 inning after a stellar throw by Michael Ludwig in right field.
As Ludwig has certainly done pretty well so far today.
He's also had throughout the season a bunch of defensive assists.
That curveball misses high. It'll be 1-0 here to the hitter, Zach Fritz, out of LIU Post. Fritz so far is 0 for 1 with the strikeout. The 1-0 from Lanero is low and away. It'll be 2-0 now. As the sun has set pretty quickly here at Shuttleworth, we have almost none now on the field, only a little bit of a sliver in left center. The 2-0 here to Fritz is grounded. Fair ball now it's called. Ooh. As the third baseman Foscue is beside himself. He's wondering what the call is now. But it looks like Fritz.
That looked pretty foul, but.
As now they give Fritz third base, as they're saying the ball went out of play.
I'm frazzled.
That's what it looks like the call is going to be. Coach Keith Griffin is going to come out to try and get an explanation. Now they send Fritz back to second. I would understand if the call's fair and he gets there, but he shouldn't get third base if it's a ground rule double.
He definitely shouldn't get third base. The second base ground rule double call, I'll take. I mean, it looked like it was foul, but
I think it might have hit fair. I think that was just a bad job by Justin Foscue of letting it go by. I think you don't just let stuff like that. Yeah. You might as well snag it. Fritz isn't a good runner.
As that was a slow ground ball up the line.
Yeah, as that probably should have been a 5-3, but sometimes it's just hard to determine.
And left fielder Tanner Allen, I saw right before that pitch, actually had his glove up blocking the sun. As he is getting the brunt of it right now as the sun sets over the tree line. As
this is, I think, the only second start for Tanner Allen in the outfield here at Shuttleworth, as in his first start in left field, he had some issues. He ended up making an error on a fly ball.
And I believe that was in the continuation of the Saugerties game.
Yeah, it was played on July 10th here at Shuttleworth.
So he's only had the 5 innings plus the 3 tonight, so he has not exactly had a lot of time playing in the left field. Not that that was his fault at all. It was just dealing with the sunlight here.
So Zach Fritz now, after the dust settles, has a double, as the first pitch into Matt Hamill out of Siena is in there for a called strike. 0-1. Hamill is technically 1 for 1 today, as he hit a pitch off of the Beacon Insurance sign in right, as that one is grounded down the right field line, and that will be foul.
That one curved out of play. It probably was fair as it crossed the first base bag, but it was stuck in the air long enough to curve foul. As they just made the announcement of who was pitching.
Yeah, as we were trying to get our P. Ryan Lanero is originally listed at number 10, as that's what he wore on the road, but tonight Teddy Sabato out of Manhattan College is wearing 10 for Amsterdam, so Lanero had to get a different jersey, so he has 30 on. The 0-2 here to Hamill is just fouled off. Good job by Hamill there to stay alive on the changeup. On deck is Brian Quezada, who has a double so far.
The mystery man, Brian Quezada, out of St. Joseph.
Yeah, as Quezada, I believe this is his first, at least first official game here with the Dragons. Fritz on second, one out here. Hamill grounds that one to Cole Barch. Is on to first, and that'll be the second out as Fritz heads down to third.
And that was a nice play by Cole Barr, taking it off the mound. There was a couple of weird bounces there. Off the mound, off the turf. Sort of popped up on him at the last second. It was a much better play than earlier. He had an error. So
yeah, as Barr had a two-hopper to him, trying to turn play with a runner scoring, but he ended up losing out. And 0 outs on the play. As that brings up Brian Quezada, as that one misses low and inside. 1-0 here to the slugger out of St. Joe's. We mentioned Quezada hit over 290 for St. Joe's out of Vermont. And his only at-bat tonight is 1 for 1 with a double he later scored. Nice pitch in there from Linero. Curveball drops in. It'll be 1-1.
As Linero here has settled down considerably compared to his first inning of work.
As that one misses low, it'll be 2-1. Yeah, as Linero gave up 2 runs, but they, I believe, will both be unearned from the third inning. So he still has yet to give up an earned run as he tries to keep Fritz from scoring, who is on third base here, 2 outs. 2-1 to Quezada. He goes around trying to check his swing, evens at 2-2. Still 6-2 ball game here at Shuttleworth Park. Amsterdam trying to stay in first place in the PGCBL East. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Shuttleworth Park. Amsterdam up 6-2. Mike Antilo out of St. John's will lead off for the Mohawks. He is 2 for 2 so far today, as he has scored twice as well. So about as good as it could possibly go for Antico so far, as that off-speed pitch from Guerreri is in there for a called strike 0-1. Mitch Guerreri has given up 6 runs. They're all earned. Most notably a 3-run home run in the second inning from Tanner Allen. That one is bunted. It is popped up into foul territory, but no one will get to it. Nice try by the third baseman Quezada and the catcher Stanley. It'll now be 0-2 for Antico as he walks back to his bat at first base, trying to leg out a bunt single there. He's mentioned that his hamstrings have been hurting him at points, but it doesn't sound like it's anything serious, but it does mean that sometimes those bunt singles are harder to come by for the outfielder. That 0-2 is fouled off down the left field line. Good job staying alive there from Antico. Antico is coming to today with, if I can find it, 29 hits. So now he has 31 and 107 at-bats for Amsterdam. That 0-2 is fouled off once again, as Guerreri cannot seem to put away Antico here. As Mike, I will say Mike came into today hitting 276, but with 15 walks, his on-base percentage is significantly higher. That 0-2 is caught and missed. Curveball in the dirt. Going deep into the air and right. Ranging back is the right fielder, Hart, and he will make the catch at the wall to retire Tanner Allen for the first time today. As that one was a high fly ball, but it was just too high to try and carry out of here. Even with the short porch in right field, it's still a double high wall, so to speak, about 10 feet high. And actually, yeah, at least 10 feet high.
Probably 12 or 13, 14. I mean, it's at least double the height of the right fielder, as I can look up.
Yeah, Brian Hart, I believe, is listed at 6 foot or 6'1". As Michael Ludwig steps up to the plate, he looks to square around to bunt, but pulls it back. It'll be 1-0.
Brian Hart's actually 6'3" out there.
So that is a tall wall as he comes up to just the first half, so it's at least 12 feet tall. The 1-0 here to Ludwig is grounded down to first base, and it will take a weird bounce, but it will go foul.
As Hart actually, I think he put his back all the way up against the wall and then had to come in a step or two, but he certainly thought that was going to be right at the wall, if not over it.
Yeah, he made a good read immediately to try and get back there and line it up. As playing right field here can be looked at as both a blessing and a curse, as it's a shorter wall, so it's sometimes easier to be able to run down fly balls. That one is grounded down to third base. Nice snag from Quezada. Throws the first, and now will retire the side here, as that will be the first 1-2-3 inning of the day for Mitch Guerreri. As we will head to the fifth here at Shuttleworth Park. The score, Amsterdam 6, Glens Falls 2. You are listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Andrew Stanley will step in to lead off the top of the 5th inning here at Shuttleworth Park as we have a special treat on the mound as we have a Mohawks player debut on the season. It will be Carter Napick, who is a returnee from the 2017 squad. As the pitch into Stanley misses high, it'll be 1-0. Carter is a Slingerlands, New York native. He lists himself as a Slingerlands native. His brother Brooks, who is his twin brother, identical twins. They're both on the team here, both returnees from 2017, but his brother lists himself from Albany, New York. I mean, there isn't really a huge difference. They're the same difference, but as that one misses high, it'll be 2-0. But
there is one other notable difference between the twins, right? One of them, Carter, is a righty, while Brooks is a lefty, so they're not quite identical in that sense.
Right, yeah, but it's cool. It's good for the Mohawks. Now have a variety of pitchers coming out of the pen today as that one misses high. It'll now be 3-0 here to Stanley. And this is Carter's first appearance of the 2018 season as he has been injured. So we're happy to see him back. Always a fan favorite, him and his brother. But Brooks has made some appearances so far this season as that one misses high. And Napick walks Stanley on 4 pitches to start his Mohawks campaign. As Justin Foscue comes in to give him some words of encouragement. And he might just be holding the ball a little too tightly. Of course, he might have some nerves. It's your first outing of your summer ball season, but luckily it isn't his first PGCBL action, so he at least has that on his side. He's pitched to guys in this league before and has had success, as he was actually a 2017 PGCBL All-Star as well. First pitch into the leadoff hitter, Nick Kondo, is inside for a ball. Kondo squared around a bump but pulled it back. He'll be 1-0.
Yeah, Carter Napick in the 2018 season had a 2.82 ERA over 28.2 innings. That's a lot of 2s and 8s.
Yeah.
31 and 14 walks compared to 40 strikeouts.
As that 1-0 is in there for a called strike. It'll be 1-1 now. Kondo was still squaring around the bunt. So I would expect him to try and lay one down with Foscue not on the grass in the infield.
Sorry, that's
and with Kondo's speed as well.
7 walks compared to 33 strikeouts. I was reading the wrong line.
As that one is on the outside corner for a strike as Napick is ahead on Kondo here, 1-2. But yeah, Carter has proven that he can certainly throw in this league.
As he also led the team last year in saves with 5. Another notable, he was the main closer at least for most of the season.
Yeah, as the Mohawks bullpen, if Mohawks fans who have been paying attention to the team for a little while thought this season has been crazy, as that off-speed pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike 3, and Kondo is set down for the first out of the inning. Last season was almost even crazier as we had some more injuries on the mound. They had a couple of really good starters, including Ian Anderson's younger brother, Ben Anderson, to go along with the rest of the pitching staff, but the bullpen never seemed to get into a rhythm, so to speak. As Dan Ryan steps up to the plate, that curveball is in there for a called strike from Napick, 0-1, as he has seemed to get out of his first couple of pitch jitters.
I think that's exactly it. He led with 5 balls and then has come back with 4 straight strikes. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, Stanley doesn't take a big lead at first. He's not a huge threat to steal. Only more of a threat to throw Steelers out. As that 0-1 is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-2. And it's almost like clockwork.
He is automatic now and is in a rhythm, which is great to see. Some consistency out of a Mohawks pitcher. We've had some players who have been a little bit higher on their walk rates, and so having somebody settle down like this could be great for us.
As that's probably been the main thing that's plagued the Mohawks pitching staff, as that one misses high. It'll be 1-2 now. But yeah, the Mohawks as a staff have walked 200 coming into today, 200 players exactly. So that is certainly not the best numbers that you want to see.
So we're at 201 now after this.
Yeah, now we're 201. As the 1-2 is flown into center field, ranging over is Mike Antico, who will settle under it to make the catch as Stanley retreats back to first base. They're 2 away. That'll bring up the left fielder, Brian Hart. Hart, a Saratoga Springs native, headed to Marist in the fall. Same place where former player for the Mohawks, Andrew Rouse, has played. He graduated this past spring, I believe. When, interesting fact, Andrew's father, Barry Rouse, is our on-field entertainer here at Shuttleworth, does all the in-between inning stuff. As that first pitch is low and away, it'll be 1-0.
Shane Muntz there made a nice play to keep the ball in front of him, as Andrew Stanley didn't exactly take many steps off of first base, if any, but still, if that got behind him, he could have advanced to second.
As the Dragons are looking just for anything to try and help them out, as they scored 2 runs last inning, as that one misses high. Excuse me, not last inning, in the top of the 3rd. We're in the top of the 5th now. But it's 2-0 to Hart. And one interesting thing about this being a staff day for the Mohawks is that it also just gives guys a chance to, throw against live batters, which is certainly much more different. As that one is lined down the right field line, it will be a fair ball. Bounce off the wall there. Mike Ludwig comes up with it. Stanley cruises into third as Brian Hart cruises into second with a 2-out double. There'll be runners on second and third, but just as you see there, Carter Napick leaves a fastball up, and that one is lined over the head of Joe Genord down the right field line. And now the Dragons have runners on second and third with 2 out, and Phoenix Hernandez coming to the plate. But I was going to say how it's good to see live batters at least, because that's what you really need to be able to improve on your game. As bullpens are good to throw to keep your arm strength up, but it's not the same.
Right. It's the whole point of summer ball, right? You see more batters, you see more pitchers.
So they're giving all of these guys on the Mohawks pitching staff a chance to at least get into the game will hopefully, at least for what Coach Keith Griffin wants to see, be beneficial in the long run, as that one misses high. It'll be 1-0. We've seen this become a thing more and more in even the MLB. The Tampa Bay Rays actually every 5th day do a bullpen day, really, where they just have whoever they want to take out of the bullpen that wants work to come in. As that one misses inside, it'll be 2-0. And we've seen the benches with position players get smaller and smaller, with more and more relief arms being put onto the official rosters. Luckily for Amsterdam, they've been able to add a couple of relief pitchers in Ryan Linero and Michael Hughes out of Herkimer and St. Rose, respectively. Linero already has been in the game today. We may see Hughes later. And luckily there isn't really a roster limit, just that you have to play a certain percentage of the season before it comes down to the playoffs. So I think we're getting to the point. Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs?
Phoenix Hernandez up to bat right now has yet to reach, but he was a bit of a Mohawk killer earlier in the season. If you remember, he sent one over the right field wall, I believe. It was a grand slam late in the game.
That gave Glens Falls a late win here.
Yep. It's July 4th Eve, everybody's favorite holiday.
As that one is in there for a called strike, good curveball from Carter Napick. It'll be 2-1.
Yes. He was clearly in the mood for some fireworks before the Mohawks put on their biggest display of fireworks ever.
Right. As the lights are, of course, on here at Shuttleworth with the sun all but set, as the 2-1 is fouled off by Phoenix Hernandez. And Carter Napick now is 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. On deck, if Hernandez can keep it going, is Josh Arndt out of Cornell. As Napick reworks the ball and now steps back onto the bump. Mohawks up 6-2 here in the top of the 5th. trying to increase their lead over the rest of the PGCBL East Division. The 2-2 is ripped between the hole between short and third for a base hit, being held up at second, as that was a nice cutoff there from Justin Foscue to make sure that Phoenix Hernandez couldn't get down to second. But scoring is Andrew Stanley. Being held up is the left fielder Hart at third. So it's now 6-3
The first baseman from Cornell University.
with Amsterdam still leading.
As y'all can blame that one on me, as I said that Phoenix Hernandez had not been reached base tonight. I guess I jinxed us there.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Jeez.
Cruising through that inning before I had to run my mouth a bit.
Always got to bring up the past, jeez. As they'll bring up Josh Arndt, the first baseman of Cornell. He's grounded out to first base twice as Phoenix Hernandez is stealing. That one's popped up foul, and it'll get out of play. Go right off at the back shed here. So it'll be 0-1 here to Arndt, and Hernandez has to retreat back to first.
Hernandez has 6 steals on the season. He was caught twice, so 750 steal percentage, which is pretty good. I mean, nothing to just skip over if you're a pitcher looking at a scouting report.
Yeah, as he's been a pretty quick player here, and we've seen his defensive prowess as well for Glens Falls this season, as he is going once again. As that one gets away from Shane Muntz, coming in to score will be Hart, as that one is flipped over Carter Knappik's head, as that was probably not too intelligent of a play by Carter there, as he was running in, and the slide took him out as he fell to his knees, but luckily he seems to be okay. But it's good to see that he didn't get hurt on that play, as Hart seemed like he was going to beat him regardless. But it is now 6-4, still in favor of Amsterdam. So Glens Falls chipping away at it on that pass ball as Hart comes in to score. And now Hernandez, who was stealing on the play, gets the stolen base at second because he was going, and then now gets the third on the pass ball. So runner on third, 2 outs with Arndt at the plate, 1-1 count. As we have a yell from a fan to play ball, as that one misses low and away. It'll be 2-1. Does he know that they yelled at the beginning of the game?
Yeah, that's usually we had a birthday party here today who announced play ball.
Who announced play ball? You see, you're allowed to do that. We'll do that. You can do that on the field if you want. You can sign up at the customer service desk here at Shuttleworth. But yeah, definitely if you have a kid that loves baseball, I would certainly say bring them out to Shuttleworth Park for a birthday party, as it's always a fun night out here. 3-1 count here to Josh Arndt with 2 outs. This is also a time where I'd like to thank a couple of our sponsors for St. Mary's Healthcare here in Amsterdam. Sticker Mule, MCT Federal Credit Union, as well as that one is lined, and it'll get over the head of Richie Nitza, and it'll be a base hit in the right field. That will score Hernandez, as Glens Falls has fought back to make it 6-5. Still in favor of Amsterdam, as that RBI single by Josh Arndt gives him now 12 RBIs on the season, as Zach Fritz steps up to the plate. Fritz in his last at-bat doubled and got to third but could not score, as they check the runner at first in Arndt, but he slides back in safely. Nice pickoff try there by the catcher Muntz. So Carter Knappik has given up now 3 runs. It looks like 2 of them will be earned, as one was scored on a pass ball. That one grounded down to third base. Foscue waits on it and will throw to first to retire Fritz and end the top of the 5th, but not before Glens Falls gets 3 back to pull within 1. They score 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors in the inning, but 1 was stranded, as we will head to the bottom of the 5th here at Shuttleworth Park. We're halfway done. Amsterdam up over Glens Falls 6-5. You're listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Mitch Guerreri stays out to pitch the 5th here for Glens Falls as they have come within 1 run of Amsterdam after going down early 6-0. Shane Muntz stepping up to the plate for the Mohawks to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Muntz so far today is 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up, but was stranded in the 2nd. Shane came into today hitting .343 as he continues to build on that as that curveball's in there for a called strike 0-1. Muntz also hit his 6th double in the 2nd inning, so he now has 11 extra base hits, 6 doubles, 5 home runs. That one misses in the dirt. It's 1-1.
As we mentioned in our interview, we have our interview on Facebook and Twitter, but Shane Muntz and Michael Ludwig were talking about their approaches. They weren't named as all-stars, but probably, at least in our opinion, should have been given strong consideration, if not the nod.
Yeah, as that one is fouled off. And, of course, I don't think it's anything against those players by the league. It's just that it's just such a stacked division, and there's so many great players that they try to give recognition to, and you try to make sure that you have kind of even contribution from all the teams. As that off-speed pitch is grounded to shortstop, good snag from Phoenix Hernandez. Throws on to first to get Muntz for the first out.
But Shane Muntz and Michael Ludwig, both very even-keeled, very team-first attitude, which was nice to see since they're only on the team for 2 months, and yet it seems like they've bonded really well as a team.
Yeah, as they have seemed to really enjoy being around everyone else here on the Mohawks, and of course they've been teammates for the past year, first with Wake Forest and now here. As that one is grounded back up the middle by Joe Genord. Nice snag from Phoenix Hernandez ranging to his left, and he'll get Genord for his 2nd putout of the day, or of the inning, excuse me. That'll bring up Justin Foscue. Foscue is one of 3 players in the lineup to not have a hit yet. But he did reach base in the 1st on a fielder's choice. As that one misses outside, it'll be 1-0. Foscue came into today hitting 10 for 26. That's a .385 clip here with the Mohawks. He's already scored 8 runs, has 3 RBIs, and he's walked 7 times as well. The 1-0 here from Foscue. That one is on the outside corner. It'll be 1-1.
Foscue, it seems, is more of the... and I automatically pair Tanner Allen and Justin Foscue together since they arrived at the same time. It seems like Tanner Allen is more of the power bat.
As that one misses high, it'll be 2-1.
Justin Foscue is more of an on-base guy, and he's also perhaps the better fielder, as we've seen him make some nice plays at third base so far in the past week or so.
Yeah, as Foscue has automatically now slotted himself into that third base spot. It seemed like the first half of the season went to Toby Welk there, who was a returnee, but unfortunately ended up heading home because of injury, as that one misses low, and it's now 3-1 to Foscue. But luckily for the Mohawks, they have had reinforcements come in. As we always refer to them as reinforcements, the players that come in late on the team due to their college seasons running late or other reasons, but this really is a reinforcement, as that one is in there for a called strike. Foscue was about to head down to first base, but now it is a full count here as Guerreri has settled down, getting 6 straight here.
And
as that off-speed pitch misses outside, as Guerreri wanted it, but he will not get it, so the 2-out walk will allow Foscue to reach base for the 2nd time today.
We've talked about this all season, where it seems as if you leave early as a pitcher or a hitter.
And this is an interesting thing that we're seeing coming up right now. As I'm sorry to interrupt you, Justin, but currently we have Matt Padre stepping up to the plate. This is Padre's first appearance in a Mohawks uniform in at least I believe 2 weeks. He sprained his ankle, he said, but he caught a bullpen earlier today they were going to see how he felt, and now he is in there at the designated hitter position. He's been subbed in for Ben Rhodes, and I guess he'll take over the responsibility of being the recovery hitman. As the recovery sports hitman every game, if they get a hit, as that curveball to Padre misses outside, it's 1-0. But if the recovery sports hitman gets a hit, everyone in attendance here at Shuttleworth Park gets a coupon to the Recovery Sports Grill on Route 30 in Amsterdam. Recovery Sports Grill, come for the game, stay for the food. The 1-0 here from Guerreri is punched fair ball between the first and second base bags, as going first to third will be Foscue, as Matt Padre is welcomed back by the Mohawks faithful with a nice round of applause. And he gets everyone a coupon to Recovery Sports Grill. As it's good to see Matt back here, and there will be runners on first and third with Cole Barr stepping to the plate. Cole so far today is 1 for 1. He's singled and scored in the second, and then he was hit by a pitch in the third that just grazed his pant leg. But he'll take it.
It's good to see Matt Padre, who hasn't played since July 1st, it looks like.
As that one is in the dirt, it'll be 1-0.
He was holding a 240 batting average, but that's since increased as he's 1 for 1 since coming back.
Yeah, as Padre was hitting 240. Now he's 13 for 51, so we'll see what that puts him at. He has 7 RBIs for the Mohawks. The 1-0 here to Barr is on the outside corner for a called strike. It'll be 1-1 now.
It's 255.
As he's now hitting 255, so we'll see how Matt does in the home stretch. He's a great addition to the team, as not only can he provide a blow for Shane Muntz behind the plate, as that one misses low and away. It's 2-1 now to Barr, but he can not only provide that blow behind the plate, but also he's able to slot in there at the DH position. He's great coming off the bench late, and we saw he just came off the bench pretty much as a pinch hitter. Now he'll be in that DH spot, but was able to get that base hit, as that one is fouled off and hits the backstop netting. He'll now be 2-2 here to Barr, who has had a very good week as of late. Coming into today, he was hitting 264, but he collected his first home run as a Mohawk on Tuesday, a 2-run shot over the left field wall. Guerreri sets and will step off now.
And one of my favorite things to look at, that past 7 days split, he's played 4 games. He's had 11 official at-bats, and he scored 4 runs in those 11 at-bats. So
good ratio. The 2-2, though, is cut on and missed. Good curveball there from Guerreri as he gets out of the jam. And we will head to the 6th here at Shuttleworth Park as the Mohawks score no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors as they strand 2. Your score here after 5, the Amsterdam Mohawks 6, the Glens Dragons 5. You're listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live.
center fielder.
As Dale Stanovich comes into pitch against Matt Hamill, the center fielder. Our Fairway Carts Unlimited bullpen cart has gotten quite the workout tonight, as we are already up to our fourth pitcher on the night. Matt Hamill so far tonight is sort of 1 for 2, as he was thrown out during his first at-bat, as he grounds his first pitch back to Dale Stanovich, and he's retired at first base, just like that, 1 pitch, 1 out. Next up will be Brian Quezada out of St. Joseph's University.
Brian Quezada.
He was retired in his last at-bat after a ground out to third, but he did have a double earlier tonight opposite field into the gap, left center. And now joining me, Adam Agresta.
And good evening once again, everyone. First pitch in here, too. That is Quezada at the plate, is a strike 0-1. As the 0-1 is dribbled softly down to third base, Foscue has to charge in, makes the double clutch, and is able to make the accurate throw to first for the second out.
And Dale Stanovich has come in here and made 3 pitches and gotten 2 outs, so...
Just a little bit efficient.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I've seen you could be slightly better, but
we've only seen that a few times.
Quite unrealistic to expect out of Dale.
As Andrew Stanley steps up to the plate, he will be attending the University of Arkansas. He'll be a Razorback in the fall. As the catcher has come in and has done well, as Shane Muntz nonchalantly snags that one off of the backstop. It's always funny to see that happen. The coolest one I've ever seen is at Target Field, Joe Mauer one time. This is the Minnesota Twins in the MLB. One time a ball was thrown behind over his head and he missed it. As that one is in there for a called strike. It's now 1-1 to Stanley. And the ball went behind him. He didn't even look around, and the ball bounced off, went on his glove side, and he snagged it without looking. As that one is fouled off, it'll be 1-2. But if anyone ever wants to see that, just search YouTube Joe Mauer backstop snag, and I'm sure you'll find it. As now we'll have a quick meeting between Stanovich and Muntz. This is interesting just because the last time I'm pretty sure Stanovich pitched to Shane Muntz, Stanovich accidentally bounced a warm-up pitch into his throat. As that just was, luckily he wasn't seriously hurt or anything like that. It was just more of a frustrating thing than anything, as he's taken definitely his blows behind the plate this season.
Did Shane Muntz also pitch to Dale Stanovich one of those times when we were...
I don't think Stanovich has caught yet this season, as that one is caught and missed, though, and he definitely can pitch, as that 1-2-3 inning will send us to the bottom of the 6th here at Shuttleworth Park. Mohawks still up over the Glens Dragons 6-5. You're listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. The 9-hitter Richie Nitza will lead off the bottom of the 6th inning here at Shuttleworth Park. Mohawks clinging to a 6-5 lead here over Glens Falls as a new pitcher for the Dragons has come on, as the first pitch from Eric Lopez to Nitza misses inside. It will be 1-0. Lopez out of Avila College. This is his 6th appearance for the Dragons this season. He's thrown 6 innings on the dot as that pitch into Nitza is flown out to shallow right field, Bermuda Triangle, but the right fielder Hart comes on to play it. Or excuse me, Ryan, that is, in right field for the first out.
For the bingo players, that's a B9, under the B9.
As that'll bring up Mike Antico, the leadoff hitter. He's 2 for 3 so far tonight with 2 runs scored. But Lopez has thrown 6 innings. He's given up 8 hits and 4 runs. 2 of those runs are earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 2. He's 0-0 with a 3.00 ERA in those 6 innings. First pitch into Antico is in there for a strike, 0-1. The final line for Dragon starter Mitch Guerreri, he went 5 innings, giving up 6 runs. They're all earned as that curveball misses high. It's 1-1. Giving up those 6 runs, all earned on 9 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 8. As that ball is flown down the left field line, it'll hook out of play. And the count will be 1-2 here to Antico. Mike, at the top of the lineup this season, has hit .276, but has also done a great job of just getting on base in general as that curveball sits high. It's 2-2. And also, once he's on base, he's able to steal a bag or 2, as his stolen base numbers now sit at 8. He's 8 for 11 officially, as that one is pop fouled down the left field line and will once again sneak out of play. And I'm also thinking that at some of the ballparks, Mike Antico may have gotten a couple of stolen bases robbed on plays that were made as pass balls or wild pitches, as not everyone is aware as that curveball sits high, and it will be a full count now to Antico out of St. John's. But now everyone may be aware that when you have someone starting to steal, if a wild pitch then happens, you're still supposed to give them the stolen bases. That one is grounded over the pitcher's head, but the throw to first is made by Phoenix Hernandez on a bang-bang play, and Antico is called out, as we will have luckily no
for those of you who were here last week.
We have no argument from first base coach Doug O'Bray and outfielder Mike Antico, but yeah, if anyone was here last week, you saw that they had a little something to say to that umpire, as that curveball is in there for a called strike to Tanner Allen. It'll be 0-1.
And obviously, we're a bit farther away than the umpire and the first base coach.
Yeah, it was a bang-bang play, as that one is grounded to the second baseman. Kondo snags it, throws the first, and that'll retire the side. As a quick 1-2-3 inning here for Lopez brings us to the 7th here at Shuttleworth Park. Your score, the Amsterdam Mohawks 6, the Glens Falls Dragons 5. You're listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Nick Kondo steps in to lead off the top of the 7th inning against Dale Stanovich, who is back out there after throwing a scoreless 6th. First 2 pitches miss inside, and it'll be 2-0 now to Kondo, who so far tonight is 1 for 3. He's reached twice as he singled in the first and reached on an error in the third, as that one is in there for a called strike. It's 2-1.
Dale Stanovich at this point in the inning, last inning, already had 2 outs, so he's a little bit off of his pace.
That one misses inside. It'll be 3-1 now.
He worked quickly last inning, retiring the 3 in order, but everybody has to regress a little bit.
As today has been a staff day here for the Mohawks, as that one misses high. It seemed like it was close, but Stanovich doesn't get the call. As Kondo is on with a leadoff walk, probably the least guy you want to walk here.
Certainly some ooze from the Mohawks crowd, as they thought that the ball was a strike, as I would assume that the third baseman, I bet it's going to, the third base coach is hitting some signs over. I bet it's going to be a hit and run.
You think? Yeah, I don't know. We might see Dan Ryan square around a bunt, the hitter out of Fairfield University, as that first pitch from Stanovich is in there for a called strike 0-1.
Or it could be neither,
Yeah.
Works, so.
Hey, I mean, you gotta wait for a good pitch to run on. Stanovich doesn't throw necessarily hard, but Muntz has a solid arm behind the plate, being a pitcher as well. The 0-1 glances off of Muntz's glove as it was outside. It evens at 1-1. Head coach for Glens Falls, Cameron Curler, continuing to make a couple of signs over to Kondo, who's always jumping back and forth at first base. As now we have a check of the runner at first, and Kondo slides back in safely. Stanovich does have a good pickoff maneuver as a lefty.
Yep.
It becomes easier as you can lift your leg up and then try and pick someone off. But, of course, you have to be careful, because if you do it even slightly incorrect and start to go towards home plate, you automatically give up the balk, and Kondo gets second base without even trying. As we have another try at first, but that one gets away from Janora as it was in the dirt. So Kondo gets down to second, and he will take a turn but stay there. As that will be, I would probably score an E1 on the throw, as the throw was in the dirt to Janora. He tried to pick it out but just couldn't. As it was a good try from Stanovich, but Kondo had him moving a little too quickly. As the tying run is now on second base. One count here to the hitter, Ryan, out of Fairfield. That one is in the inside corner for a called strike. Stanovich is now ahead 1-2. Dale, out of Marshall University, an Amsterdam, New York native, has come in quite a few times for the Mohawks this season. This is his 12th appearance as Kondo slides back in to second base, even though there wasn't a throw from Stanovich. But Dale's numbers on the season, he has thrown 14 innings, given up 13 hits and 14 runs. 12 of those runs are earned. So walk 13 as the throw down the third gets away, and Kondo will come in to score. As Kondo was stealing on the pitch, Muntz throws the ball to the left of Foscue, and just like that, we're tied at 6. As that was just a poor throwing affair for the entire Mohawks infield defense. Just couldn't complete throws down to the bags, but either way, we have a 6-6 game here, 2-2 count to Dan Ryan at the plate. Nobody out, top of the 7th. The 2-2 is fouled off. But Kondo showing how his speed has allowed him to, and that would be an E2, a throwing error on Shane Muntz to allow the run to score. So it'll be an unearned run for Stanovich, but his 15th run of the year given up in 15 and however many outs he gets this innings. As that long bounce gets under the glove of the third baseman Foscue. Was a long chopper, really high. And Foscue tried to play it on the short hop and can't, so reaching first base is Dan Ryan on the single.
Yeah, that ball was spiked into the air. I don't think Foscue had much of a chance, even if he did field that cleanly.
Yeah, he would have. He played on the. He would have had to try to play it on the hop instead of on the short. I guess on the short snag.
He also likely would have needed that David Wright bare hand coming off of third base rather than trying to glove it.
Yeah, you're probably right there as Coach Keith Griffin comes out, and we'll have a meeting between everyone here in the infield. And Coach Keith Griffin looks upset about something. I'm not sure what exactly he's more upset about. But he'll try and get the Mohawks back together here. To give you an update, a final from Sienna Field. Albany takes an 8-5 win over the Saugerty Stallions. That moves them only a game behind Amsterdam for first place in the PGCBL East. It now moves Saugerty's 2 games behind Amsterdam, barring the result from our game here. In other news in the Central Division, Watertown currently leads the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs 7-2. That game is in the seventh. As Jamestown is also there in the 7th inning, bottom of the 7th, up 2-1 over Geneva. As now we have the batter here bunting. That one gets to the backstop. It'll be 0-1 on the foul ball. The batter here is Brian Hart out of Saratoga Springs.
And although the West has been won, I think it's important to keep an eye on the Central Division because that looks to be who the Eastern Division winner will be facing.
As that bunt is right back to Stanovich at the pitcher's mound, and they get the out at second base. Nice heads-up play by Dale Stanovich there on the 1-6 putout. As that will allow Hart to reach at first, but they get the lead runner as it brings up the cleanup hitter Phoenix Hernandez out of Southern New Hampshire College with 1 out.
Southern New Hampshire, Phoenix Hernandez.
Phoenix in his last at-bat had an RBI single. He is 1 for 3 today. He also came around to score in the 5th. First pitch here from Stanovich. Curveball in there for a called strike, 0-1.
And as the Mohawks approach their last 10 games, we'll be reminding everybody more and more of the playoff implications.
Yeah, and we mentioned we went through at the beginning of the broadcast kind of how it's set up. It'll be a 17 playoff. That pitch, I don't know where it missed, but it missed, so it'll be 1-1.
Whatever the umpire says.
Yep, unfortunately, no matter what, the umpire is the judge, jury, and executioner here in baseball.
Yeah, it brings up an interesting point. You hear around the league
that 1-1 is in the dirt. It'll be 2-1.
About these robot umps that they want to institute, especially for the strike zones using lasers or whatever else, mind you. I don't know how much of a reality it is, but I'm sure it'll get tested out in the minors first if it ever does come to fruition, sort of like the runner on second base and extras rule that they're testing out.
As that one is fouled off down the right field line. He'll be 2-2 here.
Nice bare hand grab.
Hernandez. Yeah, that was a bare hand grab from the Mohawks coach down there. That might have been Coach Greg Christodoulou. Phoenix Hernandez up here, count. 1 out, runner on first base, top of the 7th. We're in a 6-6 ball game between the Amsterdam Mohawks and Glens Falls Dragons. That curveball is grounded softly to third base. Foscue snags it, throws to first, and that'll be the 2nd out as that allows Brian Hart to head down to second base.
As the Mohawks roared to start the game, they had 4 hits in each series so far.
And with four games apiece, as that one had missed outside. It's 2-1 now, and now that one misses low and away once again. It's 3-1 here to Arndt.
I guess this is just a classic case of a team having your number, as the Mohawks seem to to suffer at the hands of the Dragons here at home, at least.
Yeah, as Glens Falls, they only have, it looks like, 13 schedule. I'm not sure what else they're playing for besides pride, but they've been doing well here. As the 3-1 is in there on the inside corner, and it will be 3-2 now to Arndt. As Stanovich, who threw a scoreless 6th inning, tries to bounce back from allowing Nick Kondo to reach base and come around to score on a couple of throwing errors. The 3-2. Curveball is lined up the middle. Nice snag from Cole Barr, sliding to his left. Makes a throw to first, but it's bobbled by Joe Genord, and he can't scoop, but he does keep it in front of him, so that keeps the go-ahead run from scoring, but it allows the runner Arndt to reach base, as we will have runners on first and third with 2 outs, and Jack Fritz stepping to the plate. Not Jack Fritz, excuse me, Zach Fritz, that is.
Unfortunately, after a beautiful play by Cole Barr, I believe he's going to have to take the error there as the throw is a little low.
Well, the throw was low, but that was a hard hit ball. I think we'll probably rule that a hit, actually. As first pitch into Fritz has him jumping out of the way. He'll be 1-0. But I mistook Zach Fritz for Jack Hitz, who a former player for the Saugerty Stallions, who shouldn't be named here at Shuttleworth Park. And the 1-0 here to Fritz is in there for a called strike as Stanovich comes back to even at 1-1.
Yeah, Jack Hitz has certainly made some enemies here at Shuttleworth Park.
Yeah, he's definitely not the most popular of people. The 1-1 is in the dirt. Nice stop there from Shane Muntz to keep that in front of him. You have the go-ahead run here on now not just 90 feet away. As that pitch is in there for a called strike, evens at 2-2. As Stanovich has 2 strikes on the third straight batter.
You got to wonder, the Mohawks right now have 4 errors on the day. And they have even number of runs and hits, but the Mohawks probably would be in much better position if not for at least a couple of those errors.
As that pitch misses low and inside, it'll now be 3-2. Well, yeah, I mean, you have automatically 1 run, I believe 3 runs wouldn't have scored if errors don't happen.
Yep.
And no matter what, the run that just scored with Nick Kondo earlier this inning, that was on 2 different errors, so he certainly doesn't score without those happening. But, of course, on the other side, he does force the Mohawks' hand with those. As the first throwing error was from Dale Stanovich trying to pick him off as he was dancing off the bag. And then the other one was on a by him. As that one is in there for a called strike 3 to Fritz. And Mike Ludwig steps up to the plate here to lead off the bottom of the 7th, takes a strike from Lopez. It'll be 0-1 as the Mohawks have blown a 6-0 lead. That one caught and missed by Ludwig. It'll be 0-2 now as they were up 6-0 after 2, but have since given up a 3-run inning, a 2-run inning, and now the last run to tie it in the top of this inning as that one misses high and away. It's 1-2 now to Ludwig, who so far today at the plate is 1 for 3. He has a 2 RBI single and scored a run as that one is in the dirt, evens at 2-2. And he also made a beautiful outfield assist to end the top of the 3rd as he threw out Matt Hamill at second base. As that one caught Andrew Stanley, it looked like in the face mask. So the home plate umpire goes out and brings the ball out to Eric Lopez, who came on to throw a scoreless 6th inning for Glens Falls after their starter Mitch Guerreri went 5, giving up 6 runs. As Ludwig awaits the 2-2 from Lopez, his Wake Forest teammate Shane Muntz stands on deck. That one misses away. And he runs the count full as the Mohawks, of course, are not out of this game at all, as now it looked like Lopez was going to quick pitch it, but time is called as that was a smart move by Ludwig. As if he allowed that quick pitch, he probably would have been struck out. The 3-2 now is outside. So Ludwig is on with a leadoff walk. So that'll bring up Shane Muntz. Muntz so far today is 1 for 3. He doubled in his second at bat in the second. And one other thing I really like about Shane Muntz is that his walk-up song is classic rock versus the rest of the Mohawks, which is it's mainly either country or hip-hop. As his teammate Michael Ludwig comes up to the plate, listening to "Life Goes On" by Lil Uzi Vert. As Lopez checks Ludwig but does not throw over. First pitch into Muntz, looping curveball, misses low and inside. It'll be 1-0. Shane Muntz, we mentioned a couple of times, has been hitting very well as of late for the Mohawks. As he takes that one off the elbow, it looks like he's okay, but he's definitely not happy about it. But now Lopez has given up two base runners here with Joe Genord stepping to the plate. Genord so far tonight is 1 for 3 as well. He had an RBI double in the first inning that gave the Mohawks a 3-0 lead at the time. As now we will have a mound visit from head coach Cameron Curler of the Glens Falls Dragons. And the Mohawks will get together and talk as well for a little while. Also, we have not had a game since the MLB All-Star game on Tuesday night. In that game, that was very entertaining, but the AL ended up taking it in extra innings. I believe there were 10 home runs in the game or something like that. Justin, you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, I had actually predicted, if you remember, on Tuesday, an AL win as they won and took the all-time lead 45-44-2, as there have been 2 ties in All-Star history.
I think the most notable one in 2002, right, in Miller Park?
Yeah, because I believe it still at that point controlled the home field advantage in the World Series, which thankfully it doesn't anymore.
Well, actually, that was actually one of the things that made it controlled, because I don't think that was a rule at the time.
That way they would actually finish.
Yeah, that way they would actually want to try and win the game. As I think they went 16 innings or something crazy, and eventually they just said, or they might not have even went that far. Might have been only 13, but regardless.
Granted. I had predicted like a 3-2 AL victory. I thought the pitching was going to be stellar.
Yeah, but a lot of home runs given up.
Yeah,
including one by Jacob deGrom.
Home runs. Jacob deGrom let up 1. Pretty much everybody in the book. Ross Stripling let up 2 in the 10th, though, from the Dodgers. As I thought that was going to be called a balk, but it was not. And
it looked like Lopez. He went to go in his motion, but he immediately spun around, so he wasn't able to call it. But if at any point he had started to break the plane, it would have been, as that one is in there on the outside corner for a called strike here to Joe Genord. As the Mohawks look to take the lead once again, now tied 6-6. Runners on first and second, nobody out, bottom of the 7th inning. Check of Ludwig at second. The 0-1 is cut on and fouled off as Stanley took that off of what looks like the hand on the right side, and he's in a great deal of pain as he is crouched, just trying to shake it out. We have our Mohawks trainer, Carla DeSanto, out here to check up on him. And hopefully for the Dragons, he'll be okay, as they have, if I look on their roster, if Aglika is also hurt, then I don't know who else they have.
I don't believe they have any more catchers.
Yeah, they don't have anyone
roster
listed, but I would expect them to bring someone out there.
Well, I mean,
We've seen it happen here. Nick DeBrino has caught a game for the Mohawks. It certainly is just a part of it, but right now Stanley's still in some pain.
And we hope it's nothing serious.
I believe that's his throwing hand as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's a righty?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yep, he is a righty. So he was shaking out his right hand, so if he can't throw the ball, I mean, it might be a little bit better have it be on your throwing hand than your catching hand, so that way it doesn't get a ball in the mitt every time, but it certainly isn't good when you can't throw the ball as he goes to grip a ball right now, trying to make sure that he can throw it, as they'll probably give him a couple of warm-up tosses.
I'd honestly be pretty impressed if he was able to stay in the game because he looked to be in significant pain.
Yeah, it looked like he took a foul ball right off of it. I'm not sure. I don't think he puts his hand behind. I think he keeps his hand maybe in between his legs. So I'm not sure why you would do that as a catcher, but I know for some guys it's just about comfort. As he airmailed that one there, and now it looks like he's still hurting. I think he's trying to push through, but he also is a young player for Glens Falls, so I'm sure he doesn't want to have to come out. He wants to be able to show his toughness, show his worth to his teammates. But, of course, the biggest thing in Summer League, you don't want a player to continue and re-hurt something.
And Andrew Stanley, as we've mentioned before, going to Arkansas, the runner-up in the College World Series, I'm sure he wants to contribute there, and he doesn't want to risk anything for a team that's not quite out of it in the playoff race for the PGCBL,
right now in the fourth, not in the fourth place spot, not looking too good as they're fourth in the East Division. It looks like as Carla comes off, I'm not sure what they're going to rule. It looks like they might be bringing him out here. And we'll have to see what they do. Quezada coming over, I'm wondering if he might be able to catch. And that might be exactly what's about to happen. As we will take a quick break here as they get someone else out here in catcher's gear. Your score right now in the bottom of the seventh, the Amsterdam Mohawks 6, the Glens Falls Dragons 6. You are listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. So in an interesting turn of events here, welcome back to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Brian Quezada, who is playing third base for the Dragons, has moved to catcher, and he is actually in his first game with Glens Falls, as we'll see how this goes. We were trying to look at his stats with St. Joe's this past season out of Vermont, St. Joseph, Vermont, and it doesn't show that he caught any games. So he might have just been a catcher in high school. So as we hope nothing injury-wise comes out of this. Of course, it's sometimes difficult to come into a position like catcher and play it. But this is also due to the fact that Andrew Stanley just had to come out. Hopefully he's okay, but he couldn't throw the ball, it looked like, after taking a foul ball off of his hand. But it's an 0-2 count here to Joe Genord. Nobody out, runners on first and second. Eric Lopez on the mound here for Glens Falls. 6-6 ball game. As Lopez is holding the ball, the 0-2 is fouled off by Genord and will get out of play. As the only other catcher on the Dragons roster right now is Anthony Viglica, and I didn't even see him in the dugout today. I don't think he's even with the team at the moment. And I'm not sure what the reason is, but regardless, they are now in emergency catcher situation. As that curveball is ripped down the left field line and will actually bounce in for a base hit, as the left fielder lined it up pretty well and was able to get it back in quickly. So everyone moves up a base as Genord reaches with his second hit of the day. And it'll be runners on every base here. Bases loaded for Justin Foscue out of Mississippi State. Foscue so far today is 0 for 2. He's reached base twice, but the first was on a fielder's choice, and his last at bat he walked and was stranded at third. As Lopez is, of course, now in trouble, but now has a force at every base. As that one is caught and missed. Big swing there from Foscue. He'll be 0-1. Tried to take a grand swing to maybe put the Mohawks up 10-6, but right now all they need is one here in the bottom of the seventh. The 0-1 is in the dirt. Nice snag by the interim catcher, Brian Quezada. It'll be 1-1. As Quezada might just surprise, as he hasn't lost any ball yet behind the plate. The 1-1. That pitch is flown into the air in center. Ranging back will be the center fielder. That is Hamill, who made the catch, but coming in to score the go-ahead run is Ludwig, as the sacrifice fly by Justin Foscue gives the Mohawks a 7-6 lead. And they just announced that makes Coors Light drafts buy one, get one for the rest of the inning, as it was the Mohawks rally inning. That adds to the already buy one, get one for Bud Light drafts here at Shuttleworth Park. So a lot of deals here on adult beverages, as we will have a call to the bullpen. Carler is calling for the right-handed pitcher, as we will take a break here, as the Mohawks have retaken the lead 7-6 over the Glens Falls Dragons. You're listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. And the new pitcher here for Glens Falls in the bottom of the 7th will be Herberto Casasola out of Reinhardt College. And he will face off against Matt Padre, who is coming back from injury tonight. He already hit in the 5th inning and had a single as that first pitch is low and inside. Nice snag by the catcher Quezada. It'll be 1-0. Casasola so far this season has made 14 appearances. This is his 15th appearance. He's thrown 14 2/3 innings. That one misses inside. It's 2-0. In those 14 2/3 innings, he's given up 12 hits and 13 runs. They're all earned. He's walked 9 and struck out 27. He is 0-3 with an ERA of 7.97. So currently, out of all guys that qualify, he is the guy with the highest ERA on this Dragon staff, as that one missed low and inside as well. So he's missed 3 straight pitches in the same location. It'll be a 3-0 count now to Padre. Runners on first and third here, 1 out after the sac fly from Justin Foscue puts the Mohawks up 7-6 here in the bottom of the 7th after they blew a 6-0 lead. As that pitch into Padre is in there for a called strike. Late call there from the home plate umpire. It'll be 3-1 now. As Casasola sets, he has a weird setup and then delivery. As that one misses inside, and Padre will be on here with a walk. So in his first 2 at-bats back with the Mohawks, he has reached base. And that will bring up Cole Barr, the shortstop out of the University of Indiana. Cole so far today is 1 for 2 actually, excuse me. He was hit by a pitch and he singled and scored. And he's also struck out swinging. As Elvis Peralta Jr. gets the night off after the All-Star game last night, as that one is fouled off out of play. It'll be 0-1. Bases loaded once again here for the Mohawks, as they will look to tack on to their 1-run lead right now. The 0-1 from Casasola misses high. It'll be 1-1 here to Barr. Cole Barr looks short when you first look at him, but he's a little deceiving. I'll see what he's listed at officially. He's listed at 5'11". I think he's probably 6 foot. But he's a stocky dude that has some power. He showed that in hitting his first home run with the Mohawks on Tuesday night here at Shuttleworth. But he cuts and misses at that one, and it will be 1-2 now to the shortstop. Barr has seen most of his action at short and third base, as he's kind of been platooning, giving guys days off. As that one gets past Quezada, and everyone tries to move up. And it looks like they'll try to pick off the runner at first, and it's airmailed by Quezada, and will go all the way to the wall. In to score is Shane Muntz, as Genord and Padre move up. And the Mohawks have now taken an 8-6 lead on the throwing error there by Brian Quezada, who is an interim catcher, as he let that one get past him, but the quick hop off the brick wall behind home plate allowed him to get it back in. It looked like he would have at least one runner held up. Everyone moved up kind of half a bases. That one is grounded down to third, snagged by the third baseman, who is to be honest with you, I'm not sure. It was someone who actually came in, but either way, that'll be the second out, as that'll bring up Richie Nitza. And to give you an update, it was actually Phoenix Hernandez who snagged that. He is now playing third base, as Nitza steps up to the plate as the 9-hitter. Runners on second and third here, 2 outs. It looks like we'll have a pinch runner at second base for Matt Padre, his ankle is still bothering him. It looks like he'll be number 8 if I'm not mistaken. And if I look at who number 8 is on the Mohawks roster right now, we don't have one. So that's good to know. As it could be, if I had to fancy a guess, it just may be the new Mohawk. We have a new Mohawk. I believe his name is Matt Gonzalez out of Herkimer College. So it could be him. We'll have that set officially in our stats. If someone is looking for the official stats, that will be through pgcbl.com on Point Streak. But for now, the Mohawks still have runners on second and third with 2 outs here. First pitch into Nitsa is cut on and fouled off. It will be 0-1. As the Mohawks have scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th after allowing the Dragons to come back and tie it in the top half. The 0-1 here is punched foul on an inside-out pitch. Makes it to the sky deck. Nice snag on a hop there by a fan. And Richie is down 0-2 as he is 0 for 3 so far today with 2 strikeouts. He is the only Mohawk not to reach base, at least in the starting lineup. As Alberto Casasola sets, delivers. That one is caught and missed by Nitsa. And that will end the bottom of the 7th. But not before the Mohawks score 2 runs on only 1 hit. First one was on a sacrifice fly by Justin Foscue. Second one on a throwing error from the catcher Quezada that allowed Muntz to score. As there was 1 error in the inning, 2 were left on. As we will head to the 8th here at Shuttleworth Park. The Mohawks back up 8-6 over the Glens Falls Dragons. You are listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Matt Hamill steps in to lead off the top of the 8th inning as Nick DeBrino comes on to pitch out of Canisius College. First pitch into Hamill is on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. DeBrino has been a workhorse for the Mohawks as this is his 2nd season with the team. The 0-1 is on the outside corner once again. He's quickly ahead 0-2. DeBrino's numbers on the season, he's making a Mohawks leading 15th appearance. He's thrown 19 and 2/3 innings, given up 15 hits and 12 runs, but only 9 of the runs have been earned. He's walked 7 and struck out 17 as that one misses just outside. He's 0-1 with a 4.11 ERA, which is quite respectable here in this league, as the Mohawks have a league second best ERA, as that one is popped high in the air, and it will be the third baseman, Foscue, calling everyone off to make the catch for the first out. Mohawks ERA coming into today is 3.83, good enough for second in the league. As that'll bring up Brian Quezada, who has since moved from third base to catcher after Andrew Stanley was hurt, as that one misses low. It'll be 1-0 here. But Andrew Stanley was unfortunately hurt in the bottom half of last inning after taking a foul ball off of the hand, and he had to come out. So Quezada filled in and ended up making a throwing error as he threw behind bases loaded runners down to first base, trying to pick off from what I believe was Matt Padre, but he airmailed the first baseman, Arndt, as that one was caught and missed by Quezada, and it's 1-2, but that gave the Mohawks their second run of the inning, as they are now up 8-6 here with Glens Falls running on only 5 outs to go. DeBrino sets, delivers the 1-2. That one is chopped just foul as Quezada stays alive, flailing the bat out there. On deck, who came in at shortstop, that is number 36 for the Dragons, Andrew Tejera, out of Randolph Mason College, Virginia Beach, Virginia native. That one, too, misses just away and low. Evens at 2-2. As DeBrino waits for Quezada to get set, sets, deals the off-speed pitch. That one flown into shallow left center field. Coming on is the center fielder Antico to make the catch for the second out. That'll bring up the 9 spot. As mentioned, it's now Andrew Tejera. Actually, we have a different announcement. Michael Cooper was announced, and I don't have him on my roster, but 36 is listed as Andrew Tejera, as that one is in there for a called strike, 0-1. Tejera is listed as a right-hander, so I'm pretty sure it's him. As he took a strike there, it'll be 1-1 now to the shortstop. That one misses away. It'll be 2-1 now. Tejera's numbers on the season, he has hit an even 200, only 2 for 10 in 4 games. He scored 3 runs and has 1 RBI. As that one misses low, it's now 3-1. As DeBrino has gotten the first 2 of this inning. And the Mohawks have someone warming up in the bullpen, but looks like they're lackadaisically doing it. So we might see DeBrino come out to pitch the 9th as well, as that one misses inside. And Tejera is on with the 2-out walk. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. As Nick Kondo steps up, he's out of the University of Albany. The leadoff hitter has reached base 3 out of 4 times tonight. He is 1 for 3 with a walk. He singled and stole a base in the first. As he takes that first pitch strike, it's 0-1. He reached on an error in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, and reached on a walk in the 7th. got down to second on an error, stole a base, and then came in to score on a throwing error, as he tied the game at 6 at the time, as that off-speed pitch is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-2 now to Kondo. Out on deck is Dan Ryan if Kondo can keep the inning going. As the Dragons have clawed back here, and now we have time at home plate. They clawed back from a 6-0 deficit to tie it at 6 in the top of the 7th, but the Mohawks responded with 2 in the bottom half of the inning, as that one is on the outside corner for a called strike 3. As Nick DeBrino works around a 2-out walk to pitch a scoreless 8th inning, we will head to the bottom of the 8th here at Shuttleworth Park with the Mohawks up 8-6 over the Glens Falls Dragons. You're listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Mike Antico will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning here, as this is the now 3rd inning of the game that he's led off. Antico so far today is 2 for 4. He singled in both the 1st and 2nd innings and scored in each of those innings. So he has 2 runs scored. As Herberto Casasola stays out to pitch the bottom of the 8th for Glens Falls, as that one is in there for a high strike. It'll be 0-1. Mike Antico was not happy about that call at all. As Antico, that's the one time where I'm sure Antico will be happy to say that, hey, I'm definitely short. That was a high call. But either way, it'll be 0-1. As that one is slapped down to third base. Nice snag by Phoenix Hernandez. Bobbled it for a second, but his throw is off the bag, and Antico reaches for the 3rd time today. As that would be an E5 on the 3rd baseman, as for Hernandez definitely could have made the play with a good throw. And that'll bring up Tanner Allen, left fielder at Mississippi State, who has been the star for the Mohawks at the plate, as he's 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. He had a 3-run homer in the 2nd inning, and he also doubled and came in to score in the 1st. And the first pitch into Allen is fouled off. It will be 0-1 here. As Casasola working, trying to hold the Mohawks lead to 2 here, as the Dragons will have their last 3 outs to work with in the top of the 9th. Stealing on the pitch is Antico, and he'll get into second safely. As the ball gets away from the shortstop, but he will stay where he is, as the stolen base is the 9th of the season for Antico. As the Mohawks now have a runner in scoring position with nobody out still. 1-1 count here to Tanner Allen, who already with the Mohawks is hitting over 300 and has 2 home runs and 7 RBIs. As that one misses low and outside, it'll be 2-1. Allen's, he came into today hitting .281, but now it is 11 for 37. So that'll be over 300, and that one is taken high. It'll now be 3-1 to Allen, as he now has 4 runs scored as well with the team in this is his 9th game. So quite the numbers here for the Mississippi State Bulldog. It's 3-1, misses inside, and he is on here for the 3rd time today. The Mohawks have runners on first and second with nobody out, and Michael Ludwig stepping to the plate. Ludwig so far today is 1 for 3. He singled and came around to score in the first. On that single, he also had 2 RBIs. And he also walked and came around to score last inning, as now we will have a quick conference between some Glens Falls players at the mound. Ludwig will go down to talk to Coach Keith Griffin for a bit. Ludwig, in our interview today, check it out on Facebook or Twitter on the Mohawks page. I interviewed Michael Ludwig and Shane Muntz of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons that have made their way to Amsterdam here. Ludwig mentions how his success at the plate hasn't really been too much of focusing on any one thing. He's just tried to be patient, wait for his pitch. He, like Richie Barella, who we interviewed earlier in the week, he mentions about just seeing the ball and, to just being able to see the ball well and take it where he needs it to go, as that one is in there for a called strike. 0-1. Nice shot by Cosada there. He didn't catch the ball, but he kept the pitch framed, as sometimes if you don't keep it framed, you're not going to get a call regardless of whether or not it was a strike. Runners on first and second here. Nobody out. Bottom of the 8th. 8-6 Mohawks, as that one misses outside. And low, it'll be 1-1. Ludwig has had quite the second half here in a Mohawks uniform, as of course it's a short season, only 48 games, but it's about how much you would play in a college season. And for a lot of these guys, they came immediately from their college teams to play here, as that one misses inside. It's 2-1. So for people who have been healthy this entire season, like Mike Ludwig, he played in 30 games for, as that one is pop foul out of play. It'll be 2-2, but he's played in 30-plus games for Wake Forest, and then now for the Mohawks is playing in, by the end of this, it will probably be 50-plus. So you're getting into the dog days, and probably if you take in the second half of his total at-bats on the season, that one's grounded down to third base. Stepping on the bag is Phoenix Fernandez, throws the first, and they'll get the out there. So the 5-3 double play from first to third collects 2 outs, as Phoenix Fernandez makes up for his error earlier in the inning, as he gets Mike Antico and the batter Ludwig there, as it brings up Shane Muntz with a runner on second and 2 outs. Shane so far today is 1 for 3. He doubled in his second at bat, and he was hit by a pitch and came around to score last inning. First pitch from Casasola into Muntz is low and inside, 1-0. With Casasola pitching, a lot of his misses tend to be on the, if you're looking out towards the pitcher's mound, they're on the left side of the plate and low usually, because that's where his arm release is, the submarine. As that one gets Shane Muntz swinging and missing, it'll be 1-1. So, and you can see the kind of pitch slot, his arm slot, so to speak, does throw off some hitters as the ball kind of rises up and then re-drops. And that can make for some weird ball and strike calls. As that one misses and gets away from Quezada, it bounced off of his glove as the runner, Allen, gets to third and turns and stops there. So now the Mohawks will have a runner on third with 2 outs. So any hit will probably score Allen that gets out of the infield. Two and 1 count here to Shane Muntz. Mohawks would love to get this win tonight as Albany beat Saugerties, but if they win, they'll still be a game and a half up on Albany and then 2.5 games up on Saugerties. As that one misses inside, it'll be 3 and 1. And also, that's with the Mohawks being off tomorrow. I'm pretty sure Albany will be in action as they have 5 less games played than the Mohawks, so they're probably going to be in action pretty much every day till the end of July. As that one gets away, and Tanner Allen is racing to the plate, and he will come in to score. And the Mohawks are now up 9-6 on the pass ball there. And on that pitch, that walked Shane Muntz, so he goes down to first base, and Joe Genord steps up to the plate. Genord is 2 for 4 so far today with a single and a double. That double in the first inning also scored Mike Ludwig. So he has his 32nd RBI of the season tonight. First pitch into Genord from Casasola is on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Genord came into tonight hitting 276, excuse me, 32 for 116 with 6 doubles, and now he has 7 doubles, 5 home runs, and 32 RBIs now as that one missed, and it's 1-1 here to the South Florida Bull, who is a Lake Worth, Florida native. That 1-1 is cut on and missed by Genord, and Casasola is ahead 1-2 now. As I was saying before, the Mohawks now, if they can hold on to win tonight, they would be a game and a half up on Albany as that one misses low and in. It'll be 2-2 now to Genord. They are off tomorrow while other teams will be in action, and then Saturday they will be back home here to host the Saugerties Stallions. So that will be another hopefully entertaining matchup between the two teams as they have had some action-packed games here at Shuttleworth Park and at Canton Memorial, Veterans Memorial Field, excuse me, that is, as that one is fouled off by Genord to stay alive. But all signs point towards a very entertaining finish to the PGCBL regular season, and hopefully an even more entertaining playoffs as the playoff format is weird. It means that it's 7 teams make it. As that one misses high, it's now 3-2 to Genord. The top 2 teams in each division make it, and then the third place team in the division with the team that holds the best record. So, for example, right now that is the Jamestown Jammers in the West Division of the PGCBL. That means that their third place team in the division, Elmira, will make the playoffs. But there is a catch. The second and third place teams in that division have to play to make it to the semifinals. Whereas Jamestown, that one is on the outside corner to Genord for a called strike 3, and he's not happy about it, but that will send us to the 9th ball. I'll continue to explain what is up with the PGCBL playoff format. The second and third place teams in the West will play. Jamestown will automatically make it to the semifinals if they were to finish with the team with the best record. Of course, this is all hinging on this actually happening. This is just an example. And then in the other 2 divisions, the top 2 teams play. So right now, if the season ended today, it would be Amsterdam and Albany, and then Mohawk Valley versus Watertown. And those 2 teams would play. The winners of both of those one-game playoffs would then make it to the semifinals. And those 4 teams, the winners in each of those games, and then the top seed Jamestown, would all make it to the semifinals. They would be reseeded based off of their regular season record and then you would play a 4-team playoff from there with the 1 and 4 seeds playing a 3-game playoff, and then the 2 and 3 seeds playing a 3-game playoff. And from there, the winners of each of those playoffs will then play each other in the PGCBL finals, where the home game gets games 1 and 3, and the team with the worst record gets a home game for game 2. As Nick DeBrino will be back out to pitch the 9th inning here for the Mohawks. But in that past half inning, the Mohawks were able to score 1 run as Tanner Allen came in to score on a pass ball after reaching on a walk. So they score 1 run. They actually got no hits in the inning. And there was 1 error by Phoenix Hernandez and 1 left on base. But the Mohawks actually only have 5 more home games after we complete this one tonight. Next one mentioned Saturday against Saugerties, which I'm not sure what the special nights connected to it are. We'll have that update for you. Actually, here, I got it right here. It'll be jersey auction night by St. Mary's Healthcare. We're actually auctioning off a pink breast cancer awareness jersey for the Mohawks that is signed by all of the 2018 Amsterdam Mohawks. So that's a really cool thing to see. It's being raffled off, so you actually have to buy a raffle ticket for it, and then I think we also auction off the rest of the jerseys that they wear that night. So it's something cool to come out and see. It'll be Bacon Night, sponsored by Driscoll Foods, so we'll probably have some cool food stands here. It'll be Comedy Night as well, and there's going to be pregame music under the deck by the Vinny Saj Band from 5 to 6:30, so come on out, see a cool game here at Shuttleworth Park, as Dan Ryan out of Fairfield University will step up to the plate against Nick DeBrino in the top of the 9th, as Glens Falls is down to its last licks. First pitch from DeBrino in there for a called strike, 0-1. Danny Ryan on the night is 1 for 3. He has a single, and he also had a sacrifice bunt in his second at-bat. That one is in there for a called strike, and DeBrino's quickly ahead 0-2. Home games after for the Mohawks on Tuesday. They are home as well. It will actually be garage sale night. As that one is fouled off as Ryan stays alive. And the 0-2. That one is fouled off at the plate, it looks like, as Muntz got caught with that one. Not sure where, but he's shaking up a little bit. He's trying to walk it off. But after checking out the Mohawks schedule, they are home against Elmira on Tuesday, the 24th, here at Shuttleworth Park. That is garage sale night, so if you have anything to sell, you can actually come here, set up a table, and sell away. So that's something, if anyone is interested in that, you can contact the Amsterdam Mohawks. And on Wednesday night here, July 25th, the Mohawks will face off against the Utica Blue Sox. It will actually be Autism Awareness Night, so anyone who has been affected, that this means any people, family members, other people who have been affected by autism, if you actually get in for free. It's free admission for everyone who has been affected by the diseases. That one's fouled into the bullpen down the right field line. It's still 0-2 to Danny Ryan. And then the Mohawks will be away Thursday, Friday next week at Oneonta and Glens Falls before coming back home on Saturday, July 28th, as that one is popped down the right field line and will drop in for a base hit. Snagging is Mike Ludwig, and Dan Ryan does not try the arm of Ludwig. And that was a smart job by him, as now it looks like we'll at least get a mound visit here from Coach Keith Griffin. I don't think he hasn't motioned to the bullpen yet, so he might just leave DeBrino in to face the 3-hitter here. It will be Brian Hart still. headed to Marist in the fall. But July 28th, the Mohawks will be home against Oneonta. There will be post-game fireworks here. Well, come and check it out. And then Tuesday, July 31st, the Mohawks will finish up the season against Albany here at Shuttleworth Park. And it looks like they did take out Nick DeBrino, as we will have Blake Espinal in to pitch out of Seton Hall. And we will take a quick break here at Shuttleworth Park. The Amsterdam Mohawks up 9-6 over the Glens Falls Dragons. You are listening to the Amsterdam Mohawks Radio Network here on YouTube Live. Blake Espinal of Seton Hall on the pitch here for the Mohawks. First pitch into Brian Hart, misses low and away, 1-0. Espinal has been one of the premier lefties out of the pen for the Mohawks along with Dale Stanovich. The 1-0 is chopped foul down the right field line. Evens at 1-1. Espinal's numbers on the season. This is his 11th appearance. He's thrown 22 innings, given up 15 hits and 9 runs. They're all earned. He's walked 8 and struck out 25. He is 3-0 with a 3.68 ERA. As that one misses high, it's 2-1. Espinal sets, checks the runner at first. That 2-1 is chop foul behind the plate. Evens at 2-2. Dragons would need to get one more runner on to bring the tying run to the plate, as the cleanup hitter Phoenix Hernandez sits on deck. Espinal sets. The 2-2 is just off the plate, makes it a full count. Hart at the plate tonight is 1 for 4. He's reached twice, though. He's doubled and came in to score in the 5th and reached on fielder's choice in the 7th. as well as lined out twice. The 3-2 from Espinal. Broken bat down to first base. They get the out at, actually it hits the runner now, and they're saying he's safe as the ball hits him. So, and now if the ball hits the runner, I'm expecting they're going to leave him on, as they don't say that he was running. If he was running out of the base path and got hit, he would be off. But that gives the Dragons runners on first and second here with Phoenix Hernandez stepping to the plate. And this is certainly not the guy you want to see if you're the Mohawks, just because of his success in late innings at Shuttleworth Park in the past, as he hit a go-ahead grand slam in the 7th inning of the Mohawks' second to last game against the Dragons here at Shuttleworth Park. Hernandez tonight is 1 for 4. He had an RBI single and came around to score in the 5th, part of the 3-run inning, of that ended up making it 6-5 in favor of Amsterdam. They would later end up tying it before the Mohawks scored 2 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th. As first pitch into Hernandez is in there for a called strike, 0-1. As that one misses high and outside, and both runners will move up to second and third respectively after the ball sails over the glove of Shane Muntz. It'll be 1-1 now. As now the Dragons have a much better chance of at least coming close to tying it with 2 runners in scoring position. That one misses high from Espinal. It's 2-1. The gun has Espinal throwing at 91. He is a hard thrower, so I wouldn't be surprised if he is topping out at 90 or so. The 2-1 here to Hernandez is grounded to shortstop. Almost hits the runner, but Cole Barr makes a snag and throws the first. A run scores, but they trade a run for an out here, as the Dragons only have 2 to work with, down 9-7 now. That'll bring up Josh Arndt out of Cornell, as now it still has the tying run at the plate. Arndt on the night is 2 for 4. He had an RBI single in the 5th and singled in his last at bat as well. Good lefty-on-lefty matchup here for Blake Espinal, as that one misses outside. Pops out Shane Muntz's glove, but keeps it in front of him. 1-0. Arndt on the season is not hitting well. He's only hitting .206, and he doesn't have any home runs either, but he does have 6 doubles, which is tied for second on the team. That 1-0 is lined right back up the middle for a base hit, and it is now 9-8 Mohawks after an RBI single from Josh Arndt. That brings the go-ahead run to the plate in the form of Zach Fritz, the designated hitter. Fritz is 1 for 4 tonight. He doubled, reached third base, but did not score in the 4th. And he has struck out twice as well. The first pitch here from Blake Espinal is low for a ball, 1-0. Fritz on the season hitting only 188 coming into this game, 19 for 96, as he has certainly gotten some at-bats here for Glens Falls. 1-0 inside to Fritz. It's 2-0 now. But he does have 5 doubles and 1 home run to go with 15 RBIs, as he's certainly capable of taking one for a ride here, so Espinal can't be too lackadaisical about pitching to him, and that goes for the rest of the Glens Falls lineup, as they haven't done well overall as a team at the plate, but it seems like every time they step into Shuttleworth Park, they have turned it on at the plate, as they've scored 8 runs this game, as that one almost goes over Shane Muntz's head. Nice snag by him, but it's 3-0 now. Of course, I believe 3 of the runs today came on errors. But regardless, the 3-0 from Espinal is inside for a ball. And now runners are on first and second. That puts the go-ahead run on base, as that'll bring a Matt Hamill out of Siena College. Hamill's 1 for 4, but he hasn't actually reached base yet today. He singled in the second, but was thrown out trying to stretch it into a double by Mike Ludwig. And now we will have a pinch runner. It looks like number 3, or I don't think it's Andrew Stanley, obviously, because he's out with injury. I'm not sure who's.
Attention, please, ladies and gentlemen, running at first base for Glens Falls, number 2.
It'll be number 2. That'll be Nate Cobb out of Malone College.
Number 2.
Cobb has seen action in center field, in the outfield mainly, for the Dragons. And the Dragons are certainly not afraid to run, as they're 5th in stolen bases with 74. Of course, Nick Kondo has helped that out a lot, as that one is fouled off by the batter Hamill. 0-1 count. Only 1 out here in the 9th. 2 outs to go to seal this one for Amsterdam. A double play here would be huge for Blake Espinal, as the middle infield's playing halfway and the other corner infielders are farther in. That one caught and missed by Hamill. Nice off-speed pitch there from Espinal. And it's 0-2. Cobb comes into this game with 15 stolen bases, caught 3 times. So that's over an 800 steal percentage. As that one misses low and away, it's 1-2 now. As Cobb is out there as the go-ahead run, so on an extra base hit, that means he would have a better chance of scoring than Fritz, who drew the walk. On deck, Brian Quezada. One-two from Espinal, cut on and missed. Nice pitch there from the Seton Hall Pirate, and the Dragons are down to their final out. As Quezada steps to the plate, he has caught the last couple of innings for the Dragons. As Brian at the plate in the 8-hole is 1 for 4. He doubled and came around to score in the 3rd. As that one is caught and missed, is 0-1. And Quezada also made a throwing error that allowed a run to score in the 7th, after he had to come in for Andrew Stanley, who got a pitch off of the hand that was fouled off. But I'm sure you would love to get an extra base hit here and make up for that, as the pitcher Espinal steps off, checks the runner. 0-1 here to Quezada. 2 outs, runners on first and second. 9-8 Mohawks right now, as Amsterdam looks to hold on and take a 1.5 game lead once again, the PGCBL East. That one was fouled off by Quezada. It's now 0-2. Shane Muntz takes once again another foul ball off of his body somewhere, but it looks like he's okay. Glens Falls at one point was down 6-0 in this game and fought their way back to tie it at 6-6, but then the Mohawks scored 2 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th to make it 9-6, and now they've scored 2 in the 9th and have the tying run on second base. 0-2 count here to Brian Quezada. That pitch is inside, almost hits Quezada, but it doesn't. As Espinal tries to brush him off the plate, it's 1-2 now to the big slugger out of St. Joe's in Vermont. If Quezada can keep it going, out on deck is Teixeira. That one is cut and missed by Quezada. And the Mohawks take this one as Blake Espinal comes in to save it. In a game where the Mohawks at one point had a 6-run lead, they finally are able to take it as they improve to 23-15, as the Dragons will fall to 14-22, as Amsterdam looks to continue their good stretch running into the end of the season and into the PGCBL playoffs. Also on a day where it was a staff day for their pitching, they used the likes of Tyler Stafflinger, Ryan Lanero, Carter Napick, Dale Stanovich, Nick DeBrino, and finally Blake Espinal to get the win. So Dale Stanovich will get the official win for the Mohawks, while Eric Lopez will get the loss for Albany. Or excuse me, Glens Falls, as Blake Espinal out of Seton Hall comes in to save it. At the plate for the Mohawks, a couple of guys that stand out. First off, Tanner Allen going 2 for 4 with a walk at the plate. He had 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored on a 3-run home run in the second. That put the Mohawks at the time up 6-0. Also at the top of the order, Mike Antico went 3 for 5. It ended up being that that last hit where he reached base, it would be on an error. They changed that to a hit, so now he is 3 for 5. Also, Joe Genord had an RBI double. Michael Ludwig had a 2 RBI single, as 8 of the 9 Mohawks in the starting lineup reached base. As that'll do it for us here from Amsterdam. Your final score, the Amsterdam Mohawks 9, the Glens Falls Dragons 8. For everyone here with the Mohawks family and for my partner Justin Cohen, this is Adam Gresta wishing everyone a pleasant good night.